Hello, welcome back to another Marvel Champions article reveal. I've got Villain Theory here to take a look at the newest upcoming expansion, Civil War. How you doing, Villain?
I'm doing really good. Actually, really excited for this. I've actually already read the article. I cheated like a few hours after it came out, and I didn't know if we were doing this or not. And so yeah, I kind of had a little look, and I think I'm not just excited for the box. I'm excited to see your reactions, Nelson. So a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, well, I'm actually right now in the middle of a two-handed game. I'm playing Falcon and Hawkeye together, and I panicked because I had my physical therapy earlier than normal, so I was like running out the door. Then I saw there was an article that I had missed. It was a crazy morning, but I'm excited to sit down, and this is actually my first time seeing anything about this article. Now I've seen a little bit of chat here and there. Like I know there are some spoilers. There's a player versus player kind of mechanic and stuff like that. But that's pretty much all I know. And so I am really excited to dive into the article and see what we got. So I don't know how we can do this, but is there anything that I need to really be on the lookout as I'm scrolling through here? Or are we just gonna kind of experience it as it comes?
I think you can experience it as it comes. Since I'm a little bit wiser, there's a couple of things you'll be like, "Oh, it references this card. What is it?" And I can be like, "You'll see it later," or "It's a complete mystery." Let's say theoretically there is a player versus player element. Would you be down to fight sometime?
Yes, I would be. I would be.
Excellent. I'll prepare my victory speech.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they do it. What's up? Get up in game. How you doing? Don't fear the PvP. Lord of the Rings did it. It was really fun. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see how they do it. I think the first thing, before I even look at the article, I see over here the store kind of like excerpt. It looks like, I'm curious actually, Villain, what is the price that you see for the article or for the box? Because right now on my end, it's $48, and we were told that kind of the tariffs were going to start impacting that price. And that's an impacted price right there.
I see the same. It doesn't show it in
Oh,
my
bummer.
currency, so
Oh, okay.
good luck.
Interesting. I kind of thought that there's so many different board game like companies out there that have said different things, but I thought FFG had said that only the United States were going to be impacted by the increase in price, but we'll see.
Mm.
Woo. Alrighty. I can't wait anymore. This is Civil War. We're going to be fighting. So the Superhero Registration Act has passed. And I feel like I've seen this movie. Wait
I
a
think I might have.
second. Nice. Iron Man is in full support and Captain America is fully opposed. Ideals clash. It's hero versus hero. And this time of strife, everyone must choose a side. Now, I think before we dive in, I think I want to go ahead and note this is Caleb's final product, at least final schedule product. He may come back and guest design like some of the older designers have done in the past, but this is it. This is the fantastic swan song without Fantastic Four in it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Keller's been like there from the beginning, probably like the single most influential designer, I'd say, across like the 5+ years of the game, in my opinion. And yeah, this wave, I feel like he's involved at least in like some of the other stuff coming up, maybe, but we don't know all exactly. But definitely, this box is fantastic, not Fantastic Four. Swan Song, and I'm so excited to see what you think about this. I really am.
Yeah, we got chat saying new stuff to make it into the MCCU. Absolutely, I'm pumped about that. I actually have the next game of the MCCU scheduled out to film this weekend, so hopefully we should get a surgence of that. But there's a sentence right here. There are no villains this time around. That seems a little interesting, doesn't it? So no
I feel like
villains
they're
this time
excluding
around.
me.
You're no longer allowed to play the game. I'm sorry. It stinks.
Uh,
But I did. I
yeah.
made sure to wear my Stark Industries shirt.
Oh, your Team Iron Man.
Apparently.
Oh, I'll be Team Cap. I definitely have a Captain America T-shirt somewhere. I should have put it
Mm,
on. I'm excited though. They're calling this a custom scenario expansion. So not a campaign expansion, not a scenario pack, but custom scenario expansion, which is
mm.
pretty interesting.
Yeah, so I wonder if this is what they were referring to at Con of Heroes when they were saying it's a new product type. I wonder if this is that.
I guarantee it. It's very
Okay.
different.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. I'm excited to see where it goes. Instead, the special custom scenario expansion is players facing off against heroic leaders fighting for their ideals. Iron Man and Captain Marvel. Sorry, I'm just like, my mind is going like leagues ahead. I'm like, are we getting like reprints of all the core heroes too? No, sad. Okay,
Not here, not here.
not here.
No,
Oh,
no,
we'll
no.
see.
That's
We'll
not.
see.
I've got no information. I don't think that's happening here at all. From what I understand from when they said about it, that's a future thing, maybe.
Okay.
But well, like future redesigns of old heroes. Anyway, here I'm really excited. I'm gonna spoil for you that we do see some of this Iron Man and Captain Marvel stuff here, and I'm intrigued. You gotta tell me what you think when we get there.
I am pumped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So today we're providing a first look of the scenario content for this expansion, including what we mean when we say customizable. We will also be taking a look at the highly thematic optional competitive rules that you can use for these scenarios. So I was actually thinking about this because I did see some chatter just like from Discord notifications and everything that we were going to get a PvP mode in this. And I wonder, I missed a sentence. Oh yeah, okay. I will read that sentence. I see exactly which one I missed, Griffin. But I'm curious. Can you think of another game that started cooperative and then moved to competitive? There's a number of examples of vice versa. Ashes Reborn went competitive to cooperative. Lorcana has done it. I can't think of another game that started out cooperative but then introduced a competitive mode. I think that's relatively unique in the space.
I can tell you one, I think, only because I saw it from Get Up and Game in the chat, and I'm pretty sure, did Lord of the Rings do this?
Oh, yeah. I think there was a scenario. There was a. Is Get Up and Game back? Because they're gonna know way more about it than I will. But there was a scenario, like a custom scenario, that I think was like a race. I think it was like Murder at the Prancing Pony was the scenario, but I think it was like a race. So yes, I guess like there is precedent within the LCGs as well. Yeah, it's pretty much the exact same thing. Okay, cool.
It's unusual, but yeah, I'm curious to see how it would compare because I actually don't play much Lord of the Rings ever, and I think they've probably done it differently for this.
You should.
Yeah, well, when I can afford it or something. Anyway, yeah, you missed a couple of lines here. One I'm going to read out, I think,
Yeah, do
if
it.
we play into it. You mentioned about Iron Man and Captain Marvel. After that, we've got Captain America and Spider-Woman leading the Resistance. So that's kind of cool. I thought Spider-Woman was not a character expected to be prominent here. I don't read the comics, but I thought that's quite a cool choice.
Yeah, in the movie, it's Spider-Man kind of on. No, well, I guess Spider-Man's on Iron Man's side, so I guess it's not necessarily like a parallel from Spider-Man to Spider-Woman from the movie to this.
No,
because Cap's on Spider-Woman's side. That's okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think you should read the entirety rest of this paragraph, starting with each.
Each of these leaders comes with a fully customizable scenario. Okay, that's kind of wild. So it's Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Spider-Woman. So it feels like at least 4 scenarios. That's fully customizable, whatever the heck that means, with a wide range of main schemes and modular sets to build your own unique Civil War experience. My brain is hurting. Okay. This box also kicks off a new bonus wave of playable heroes for the game, beginning with Hulkling and Tigra, both who come with fully pre-built and ready to play. Okay, so a hero expansion, right? Like just a hero pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, do you want to know?
Potentially, yeah.
It says when you get down into the article, Hulkling and Tigra, because I was confused by this originally. They're in this box.
Oh.
They sound like hero packs, but it says they're in this box later. We can go over it and double check it, but like I was confused too.
Interesting. Okay, well that's kind of exciting. It sounds like with Hulkling we're probably going to get a little bit of Gamma support, which is
I would assume so.
That would be very, very nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Hercules and Wonder Man are 100% the next heroes. Dude, I tried to play Hercules. I did a two-handed game that I posted today. That was like Captain America Winter Soldier. And it was just like a pinned down man on the wall type situation. I was like, I'm going to play Hercules, and it's just not worth it.
No, their cheaper allies like just as good, and like, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
right?
know. He's there. But anyway,
Yes.
I'm so excited to see how you react to all of this stuff here. Have you seen the picture, the splash picture here?
This guy, right in the middle.
Like the whole image of the verses and stuff.
Yes. So we got Captain Marvel, Spider-Man. I'm having a really hard time seeing. See if I can zoom in a little bit.
Enhance.
Zoom and hats.
This is a good taster for what's to come.
I don't know how to fix it on stream. So we're gonna look at Spider-Man first. Spider-Man is a
He's a minion. Yeah.
Minion.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man's on Captain America's side. I just like straight missed that. Okay, so this is straying from the movie.
You'll be able to see all these cards on screen in more detail as we go down. But I just wanted to I wanted to excite you with that. When I saw Spider-Man as a minion, my brain kind of was like, what?
Yeah.
Which is very exciting.
Okay, that's actually really pumped. We'll see him later too. Spidey started out with Iron Man, but then switched later. Classic. Nice. Oh, and it looks like Hulkling is not Gamma, sadly. Okay.
Oh, he's not. Okay.
Let's figure out what this custom experience is, because I'm so I don't even know what's happening. It feels like we're doing Trickster Takeover all over again. But I'm glad you have a little bit of a background going through it.
Oh, I had to go through it a couple times.
Nice. So, a custom experience. Unlike previous big box expansions for Marvel Champions, Civil War doesn't include an interconnected campaign. Personally, I'm fine with that. I think that the campaign is I play the campaign once, probably, and then I just play this game very, like, just highly skirmish. So, like, I'm not too upset with that. I am curious to see what they do with it, but I think I'm okay with that. I see a couple people in chat saying that the campaign is kind of what brings their group together, which is that's like, so I'm hoping that there's a way that we can still kind of get groups together, but I'm more a fan of like the non-campaign style of things.
This box is the box that breaks people apart if they go into competitive mode.
Yep.
But there are still going to be 4 scenarios with a lot of replayability, which you'll come to see, that you can play, I believe, in the normal cooperative mode as well. So you could have 4 of you teaming up against 4 different scenarios. So you could play them in a row, like a pseudo campaign. So it's still kind of got like, you might have to switch some things up a little bit, as you'll see. But like, definitely think groups could still be able to play this, no problem.
That's cool. So 4 scenarios that are pre-constructed to ready to play right out from the get-go instead of 5. So interesting. Plus additional resources to let you mix and match for your own unique experience. Yep. I'm so like, they're not just saying modular sets. So something's crazy is happening.
Yeah. Well, I want you to look at these pictures here. You're going to see 2 schemes. They're 2 main schemes, and look at the top right corner of both of them.
The top right corner is 1B and 1B.
Yeah, but they're both from the same set.
Oh, they're both from the same set. Okay.
Do you want to read through it, or do you want me to explain a little bit?
Let me explain it to me. Explain it to me. Which one should I be looking at?
You can look at either of them, because you can basically build your own main scheme deck. So you have different 1Bs you can choose from, and different like 2Bs you can choose from. I think there's like 4 of each for each side. And I'll let you have a little read through and play through the rest, but that will that's how these work. So they're interchangeable, is my understanding from reading it.
That's why it's fascinating.
That's why it's like the customizable custom scenario kind of thing.
Very cool. Okay, so it feels like there's more than 4 scenarios. like if you can switch up the main scheme, like it feels like it's at least a half an extra scenario. So it could be cutoff support. So this threats out at 7 per player. If there's more than 1 player on your team, okay, this stage gains hinder 2.
It's confused me a lot. So I understand this to be In solo play, it goes up to 7 threat, and it starts with 0. In 2-player, it goes up to 14, and it starts with 4. That's what I made that to be.
That I like that. I think that's really fascinating. I like that balancing mechanism. Instead of sorry about that. Instead of putting this like right down here in the bottom corner, you're able to. I think we've seen some things like this in Lord of the Rings, as like the game went on, where we would start to get kind of the first player does this, every other player does that, but it's very much okay, people play this game solo, so we need to try and balance this, and this opens up, I think, a wider range of things to help balance. So, forced interrupt. When a player reveals a treachery, place 1 threat here. Limit once per phase per player. Okay? So that's cutoff support. The other one that we can choose is shield recruits.
Yes, and I would say they all have that first paragraph.
Oh, okay. Okay. They all have that first paragraph, and then when revealed, the enemy searches the encounter deck for 1 minion, or 1 per player minion, and deals 1 to each player on your team as a face-down encounter card. Thor loves it. Nice.
But what I find interesting is it says the enemy team searches the encounter deck and deals 1 to each player on your team. So in solo, like cooperative, I figure it's like normal. You probably just choose or whatever. But if you're against each other, and this can still be incorporated somehow, and people are choosing maybe like the minion you don't want to have or something. We'll have to see, but that's my interpretation.
That's really interesting. Okay, so, and it's talking about on your team, which is probably going into that PvP mechanic.
Something to do with that, yeah. I'm so curious about this boxes.
That's fascinating. Okay, well, the resistance side could be wielding a rallying call. Oh, another one. So this is from the same set, resistance.
Well, the other ones are from registration. This is from resistance.
Okay. Words are hard. I was like, it's a different color and from the same set. It's gonna make it's so challenging. Okay. So same thing, same hinder keyword. Each minion gains guard. Okay, so this is the rallying call. Yep. Okay. Or going underground. Each enemy leader gains steady. Each enemy leader gains steady. I don't know what's happening. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no idea what's happening right now.
I'm gonna provide some translation services. Please. I speak Fantasy Flight here. And my don't spit your drink out. Imagine leader actually reads as a villain mechanically for all intents and purposes here.
Okay. So the enemy villain.
I think if we're playing cooperatively, like standard Marvel Champions, it basically just reads the villain gains steady.
It's mechanically the villain. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. We're getting there. The second stage.
I've got a read ahead on this one.
Yeah. It's kind of like SWU-like in competitive mode. Well, that makes me a very happy boy. It just means villain for co-op. Got it. Okay. The second stage can vary as well with nasty options like negative zone prison, which this is from the registration set. This is 2B. Okay. This does not have that hinder keyword, but it does reduce the target threat value of this scheme by 1 for each face down card under it. Then after an ally is defeated by an enemy attack, we're going to place that ally under this scheme. That's really cool. I like that design space a lot. Like I like and I there may be ways to get them back, but right now they're gone. So it's like really penalizing that chump blocking, which is cool. I like that a lot.
To my knowledge, there isn't a way to get them back, and I'll tell you why. Because this is all from the same registration set, and you don't have to use this main scheme. It could be interchangeable, right? So I don't think there'd be something specific to get them. I think when they're arrested, then maybe they're arrested. That's my interpretation of it. But I think it's really cool. I love the design space. It's very unusual, but very cool. It's a little bit like Operation Zero Tolerance when you lose your ally under something. Doesn't end the scenario, but your threshold to maneuver gets lower and lower and lower as the net closes around you. And look, there's Daredevil in the art. Where's Daredevil? But it's cool art.
Good. Again, more.
There's more to come, I'll tell you.
Nice. So Marcus says that it seems like this expansion will be nice if you have a group. I play two-handed solo, so it looks like I'm skipping this way. Villain, you've read ahead. Is this soloable or is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's gonna be 4 scenarios that you can play like standalone scenarios, and if you're watching this and you've not read ahead, I've seen what the scenarios look like a bit, and I think they all look interesting. There's two, maybe three that I'm especially interested in. But I mean, I think they all look good. I've not played any of them, but I think you'd have four strong scenarios that are very customizable, and two new heroes, which I would say the article doesn't go into detail on all the hero stuff, so I can't comment. But I think solo, there's plenty here.
Cool. And if I am playing with more players, can I play it like a standard game of champions, or do I have to do
Yeah.
the PvP? Okay, cool.
No, you can have four people, and you can all team up to take down. You can all be part of the resistance and try and take down one of those leaders, like Iron Man, for example. It's totally possible.
Okay. Magic Jerry, I think the presentation of this article overcomplicates what it is. It is fully solo and fully co-op. So it feels like it's a standard well, maybe not a standard expansion, but it's addition to the games with additional content as well with the PvP mode.
Yeah, it's quite a complicated product, especially with the different terms like enemy, like leader and team and so on. But it is, I think they're pushing the design a bit like the tricks to takeover Loki thing. But it can still be played just one person, and I think some of the stuff looks really good. Spoiler alert. So.
Yeah.
I'd stay optimistic if you haven't read through and looked through all of this in detail. Cool. And then you can be grumpy or be excited.
JS Villain, did you playtest this? I think you said you hadn't played any of these.
I don't playtest anything.
Nice. Love that.
But I read ahead earlier.
Yep. For the registration side, and then Neighborhood Protectors for the Resistance, which is when revealed, the enemy team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for 1 per player side schemes and deals 1 to each player on your team as a face down encounter card. And then if this stage is completed, we lose the game. Dude, that's kind of wild. 4 players, just 4 new side schemes.
This terrified me.
Yeah, and it's deck and discard pile. That's brutal. That's going to be really fun to modulate with some sets.
I was going to say, some of the sets, we'll get to see a little bit of side schemes going into it. Some of them are hinder 1. Some of them are just 3 extra threat per person. So it's going to be very different. But I love the theme here. In the picture in that one, it's Spider-Man's webbed someone up. The flavor text is, there's an irony in outlaw heroes still fighting crime. The theme in this box and the flavor text is really good. There's a lot of it.
Nice. Champion Mel calling out even the odds coming in clutch. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. So those are stage 2B. I wonder if we're going to actually... there are 4 stage 1 main schemes and 4 stage 2 main schemes. There you go. Perfect. Okay, I was about to ask. I could have just read the card, right? Read the card. It tells you what it does.
It's right there.
For the conflict, and when you add in 2 heroic leaders on that side, you're looking at 32 possible combinations. Jeez. For registration and 32 for resistance. That's not even taking modular and counter sets into account. That's amazing. That's really fascinating to me because it's just I think the core design principle of Marvel Champions from the get-go was to be able to play it and modulate it to infinity effectively, right? And with the modular sets, because that's not something we've seen in Lord of the Rings, it's not something that we've seen in Arkham, because those come with standard encounter set or modular sets, their version of modular sets that are not modular to put into each scenario. Marvel Champions kind of shakes that up. You can throw Rhino into Sinister Six if you want, but this feels like it's just taking that to the next level, and that's kind of cool. I feel like, it feels like Caleb's swan song, right? It's okay, let's modulate the heck out of this thing.
Let's break some rules.
Let's do it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So 32 possible combinations for registration and 32 for resistance. And that's not even taking into account modular sets.
And there's a lot of modulars.
Oh, that makes me happy. I saw Get Up in Game commented a little bit ago that this felt like Mansion Attack plus the Hood. Where you're modulating the villains, you're modulating the main schemes, and then you're adding in a stupid amount of modular sets.
Yeah, there's elements of that, but it's also different to both of those, I'd say. So we'll see how it unfolds. I'm so excited for you to see the scenarios. Actually, like I said, I'm excited for those.
Nice. Okay, so speaking of modular encounter sets, you'll find plenty of those on offer in this expansion. Like scenarios themselves, the modular sets are divided into registration and resistance. There are 8 mod sets for each side for... Yes. 16 new mod sets just makes me a happy boy. I'm just
there,
like, that's
there-
awesome.
there's so many of them. I
Yeah.
think that were like 5 cards each, which is what we got in Agents of Shield. So I don't know if that's something they're doing more now, or if that's just a current like little current trend.
Yeah.
But 16 and yeah, there's some that are quite exciting. Yeah, I want to say stuff, but I need you to uncover it. So
Yeah.
we gotta get reading. What's the
What
next
what
card?
what I'm really excited about is like the Maria Hill and Spider-Man that we have on the screen. Those look like they are from their own encounter set. So it looks like we're gonna get a Spider-Man
Yeah.
encounter set, a Maria Hill encounter set, and 16 is insane. Monolingual. Do we know if this is Caleb's swan song? Yes, this is Caleb's swan song.
Hmm. I have a feeling, like from what Caleb has said, like he helped with like maybe some some of the next heroes coming or something, but like this is like the big end kind of like thing wave, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about Maria Hill.
Okay, let's do it. Ranging from Maria Hill. You want to tell me about Retaliate 2? Boo. Boo. You want to tell me
You
about
just told me
Maria?
about you just told me about her. To scheme, to attack, retaliate to. When revealed, the enemy team searches for a copy of Life Model Decoy and attaches it to her. We don't know
Sick.
what that does, and I was spoiled that that's not in the article, but we can probably assume to be like the player card that Maria Hill has. Life Model Decoy prevents an attack somehow in some kind of way. And yeah, you can have Maria Hill in a modular set, and I think that's really fun. She looks very angry. She looks like she's telling you off in the
Yeah,
picture.
I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble for some reason.
Yeah.
That's okay. So that's really fascinating. It's feeling a little bit like the Loki scenario that we played from the Rosa Gondolin, the custom scenario that they ran at Con of Heroes, where each hero had a villain counterpart. It feels like that's kind of what we're hitting. That's cool.
I think some of these mod sets are named characters. Some of them are a little bit different, but I mean, there's going to be a lot of characters and cool stuff here. And when we get to the next card on the screen, Spider-Man, on the bigger picture, he mentions another card too, which we see later in the article, just to let you know. So we can see more about that.
Nice. So Spider-Man is a 2/4 minion from the Spider-Man set with the Avenger and Elite trait. Also, really cool, you can play solo with Rogue, throw your touch upgrade on Spider-Man, get the Avenger trait, play your Quinn carrier. Okay, that's kind of fun.
There's some fun stuff there for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so when revealed, Spider-Man attacks each character with Tangled Up attached. If no attacks were made this way, the enemy team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy to Tangled Up and gives it to you as a face-down encounter card. Interesting. It's slightly worse or better than Webbed Up?
What weaker, I would say, but it's also slightly different. But it's reminiscent.
And this is the one that we have.
It'll be later in the article, but it is cool. You are going to get to see it. So we'll revisit Spider-Man. But what I found interesting here is it gives it to you as a face-down encounter card, so it doesn't like put it into play like immediately kind of thing, but it's going to be coming up.
That's cool. That's interesting. And gives it to you. So I wonder if that counteracts all of like the aerial recon that we've been seeing with Falcon, where it says the next time you'd be dealt an encounter card, this is giving you the encounter card here. It's not dealt, and so it's a little bit different wording. So I don't know if you can aerial recon it.
I wonder if that's true. I never thought about that until you pointed that out. That's a great observation. But yeah, it's not dealt to you; it's given to you.
Yeah, that's new terminology in.
But it's actually, yeah, absolutely. I don't think you can prevent that. That's cool.
Star-Lord's still happy though, so.
Honestly,
is it worth going to see Tangled Up right now?
I would wait because it's going to kind of revisit a couple of these bits. I will also say the Mighty Avengers thing coming up. We see that later with more context, so we can always wait on that one.
Sure.
But New Avengers we won't see again, to my memory.
Get up in game. Caleb also plays loose and fast with the wording. Yep.
True. I think what this is though. I think what this is with the Spider-Man thing with giving you the card. It says the enemy team searches for a copy of it and gives it to you. So I wonder if because the other players have found it, you can't like cancel what another player is doing. So it's kind of competitive proof ruling that also changes a little bit in standalone. But who knows?
Interesting. So we will
But
see
yeah,
Mighty Avengers later, but we check out New Avengers right now.
yes, let's do it.
So on the registration side to Spider-Man, and then Maria Hill is
So Maria Hill is on the registration
registration.
side, and Spider-Man is
Got it.
resistance. It's kind of like
Got it.
red versus blue, Iron Man versus Cap, kind of color coded. So you can only use sets from the registration side with like the registration villains, like in the like at least officially, and like some of the stuff here. So what I think is interesting is because it's all fully solo or like cooperatively playable, but I think because it has a competitive element, I think that's why Maria Hill and Spider-Man have such similar stats, like the scheme, attack, and health.
Yeah.
That's my guess, at least, which makes sense. But yeah, whenever you want, I think New Avengers would be like the next card we should dig into.
So New Avengers is one of those side schemes that we're gonna go hunt down whenever we go to 2B. 3 hinder 1. When defeated, shuffle each minion in the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. I hate it. I hate it so much. That can be so brutal depending on what you are playing against. Oh jeez. Huh. Okay, and it does have a hazard icon, so you can't just leave it out there.
Nope.
Nice.
Yeah, I kind of like this hits you on both fronts. So if you leave it, it's really bad. But if you defeat it, I feel like it's less bad. But you're gonna notice it, especially if you're almost treating counter deck, then suddenly everything is minions. Which definitely happens with like some similar side schemes in the game. So I quite like that one.
Nice. What sorry, do you know when this comes out?
Yes.
When is that?
I think it's going to surprise you.
Okay.
September.
September. Okay. So Loki's coming out in August. Or Trickster Takeover is August. And then directly after that is September. Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
That's
surprised
fun.
me. I thought it'd be longer.
I did too. I did too. So September.
Seems like they're really serious about stepping up the like releases.
Nice. As a content creator, I'm sweating. I'm so behind already. Alrighty. I was New Avengers. You can choose whatever modular set you want for your own custom scenario. The only restriction is that you can't mix registration and resistance. But it does. I haven't seen anything saying that we cannot throw this into Crossbones if we don't want to, right? Like we can use these as normal mod sets too.
Do you want me to tell
Yes,
you
I do.
the bad news?
Oh, yes.
There's no bad news. There's no bad news. You can put them in any set. So we can have Spider-Man in Green Goblin mutagen formula, which was the first thing that came to my head.
Oh,
I
nice,
said that
yeah.
to my I said that to my friend, and he's like, "Oh, there were Spider-Man clones in the '90s." You know what would really upset me is if you put insert card we haven't seen yet in this scenario, and I was like, I'm going to do that then, and you'll see that as we get down there. And yeah, I'm really excited for that. 16 new mod sets for any scenario, and I feel like because like a lot of them are like heroic, 'cause it's heroes fighting heroes. You know, in some of these scenarios, it's going to be a little bit weird, but also there's a lot of storytelling because in a lot of Marvel movies and comics and stuff, the heroes seem to really just fight each other.
Nice. Champion Mel, we did skip Mighty Avengers because Villains read through the article and he said that it's coming up with more context later, so we're going to bounce back to it when we get to that portion of the article.
Yeah, we can take a quick look, but like it will come up again, so we won't miss anything.
So you may have noticed that many of the cards we've shown so far mention the enemy team, enemy leader, and similar teams. This language is mainly there to help facilitate the optional competitive mode, which we'll go over in a bit. If you want to just take the scenarios on with the classic cooperative or solo Marvel Champions gameplay that you know and love, fear not. Every leader, main scheme, modular set in this box is fully playable in the standard cooperative mode. Beautiful. You can even use modular sets from other Marvel Champions expansions with these scenarios, and you can use Civil War's modular sets with the scenarios in other expansions. This means if you wanted to sling Maria Hill mod set from Civil War into the Baron Zemo from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that would be kind of fun. You absolutely can do so. Likely if you wanted to beef up one of the leaders in Civil War, something like Super Strength, mod set from Next Evolution, completely legal. Okay, so that answers a lot of the questions. It feels like there's just a lot going on in the box, but boiled down, a lot of the weird wordings and everything is all additional content. It looks like this box is just chock full of everything. And I bet we're getting so many more modular sets because there's not a campaign, so we're not dedicating card slots in the box to campaign cards, so we can actually get more mod sets. Yeah,
well, there's also only 4 scenarios rather than 5, so they cut out some of the cards that way, I guess. But I like this a lot. Like it's a normal. If you ignore the competitive stuff, you got 4 scenarios instead of 5, but they're all really customizable, and you're still going to get 2 heroes. So there's a lot, and tons of modular sets. So there's a lot of good stuff there. I really feel like
Yeah.
they buried this down because I feel like really confirming that would have been,
Yeah, right?
but it's here, and yeah, I'm so excited for this. I really like the idea of bringing other mod sets in as well because some heroes, whether it's multiverse or brainwashing, they can sometimes work with other sides. There's storylines and stuff, and it's kind of interesting that I could put like some of these bad guys with the good guys, and you could do vice versa, I guess, with the good guy mod sets to the villains. But yeah, I'm excited. Oh, I had an idea as well. Like, what if you gave the Spider-Man mod set to Mysterio, and it's like an illusion kind of thing? That's kind of fun, right? I
Yeah.
feel like the storytelling is, really interesting. I like it.
Yeah, there's just so much going on. I'm like excited. I guess like would you be more excited about having 5 scenarios or this 4 scenarios and more mod sets?
I'm gonna say, but this is a little bit cheating because I've seen the scenarios. But if I get 4 solid scenarios, even if they're not customizable, I love to have 4 really solid runs rather than 5, where there's going to be 2 or 3 I play a lot more than the other ones, which is typically how it happens. I like the look of all 4. A little spoiler for you. So I'm actually very happy with this. The fact that they're customizable can add so much replayability to what to me appear to be 4 pretty good scenarios. So it's a big thumbs up from me this way.
Nice. Okay, let's keep going. This is a big article. You
Oh,
told me it was a big article before
look
when
at
we
the
were chatting
scroll.
about
Look,
Star. Yeah, I
look
was
at
like,
the
we're
sidebar.
like we're a quarter of the way through, my friends. Let's go. The more villains, the better. Alrighty, this article is massive. That makes me so happy. I didn't need to mow my grass today.
Nope.
It's brutally hot here. It's like I think it's 92 degrees outside. So which in Celsius kills somebody, but we're talking Fahrenheit. Alrighty. So from friends to enemies. Now that you know the basic premise of how this expansion scenario work, let's talk about the scenarios themselves. Right off the bat, I have to stop. I kind of wish that we got new art for the Mark V armor, Mark V armor, whatever, however you say it. I think it's V for victory. The Mark, it's like
Okay. Well,
this is the
I'm
same.
gonna
This is the same art.
I'm gonna let you into a little something here because we might as
Okay.
well get this out of the way now. There's gonna be a lot of repeat use art for a lot of cards that mirror hero cards,
Okay.
if that makes sense. There's gonna be some of that, but so because it does a similar thing to the hero version, I think they're trying to make it, kind of like you're fighting the hero, if that makes sense. So I think that's the gist of it.
Okay.
I kind of liked it. I think you kind of get to see more of the art in kind of the open top attachment kind of format. I kind of liked it. But some will be different, but most you are going to see some more like this.
Cool. It sounds like Chad is very happy with the reuse of art.
See capitals.
Nice. Yeah. It does feel iconic. So there is that. I will give that to you. Okay. So let's take a look at Iron Man. Iron Man's a 1/1 leader. Oh, he's a leader. Okay.
He's a quote unquote villain, basically,
Got
mechanically,
it.
if you play cooperatively.
Cool. Yes. Okay. So he's the villain, and we've got 14 sets in the Iron Man scenario. Let's call it that. So 14 cards, which is a fairly small scenario set, I would say. Because like you got 3. I guess we're not including the main scheme because those are different, I think.
Yes, that's true.
So
And there's also a lot of modular sets.
there's a lot of modular sets, 100%. And so I'm wondering if we'll use like 3. We'll see like a Crossbones because I think Crossbones is like a 11.
It could be free. I don't think we get to see it in the article, so I'm not sure. But it's easily at least 2.
Yeah. Trap it. We haven't even gotten to PvP yet. So we'll see. Okay, so he's a 1/1. He has 12 hit points per player on stage 1. And he gets +1 scheme for each tech attachment on him to a maximum of +3. Brutal. Alrighty, and then
Yeah.
set up the enemy team, searches the encounter deck for an Iron Man attachment, and your team reveals it. Interesting. Alrighty, that's fun. That's really interesting. And one of those is the armor, which attaches to Iron Man's attack, so it's going to give him a +1 scheme. I like that parallel, like +1 hand size, +1 scheme.
So you're coming back around to it. You're coming around to the thing here. You're going to start to appreciate the mirrored art a little bit because some of these things do kind of mirror.
Yeah. I like the mirror of the cards. I wish that they had different art, but I did see chat saying that like it does open up budget for other
Oh
You are,
yeah,
which is fair, which is
artist
totally fair.
and yeah.
Champion Mel says Crossbones is at 19, so Crossbones without the main is at 16, and so it's I could see us
Mm,
using three. I could see us using three sets in here.
yeah,
I love encounters where we get to use three sets. That's so much fun.
yeah.
All
I mean,
right.
optionally, you can turn almost any scenario into a free modular encounter set. It might just not be designed for it.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited for you to see all these cards coming up. We're going to see a couple of attachments because it's Iron Man.
Yeah. So on a boost, you do reveal the card, which is brutal. No, it's not that brutal. Because
Wait,
it's a brutal. I was gonna say it's brutal if he's scheming, because it gives him a plus
Hmm.
one, but it's the same as a plus one here. When Iron Man
Yeah.
would take any amount of damage, place it here instead. Then if there's at least 5 damage here, discard this card. Yeah, okay, that's a fun parallel. That's a fun way to make the
Yeah.
plus 5 hit points that it gives you in the player as a villain attachment.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
want you to see the names of the next three cards coming up, and then see how you like a couple of comparisons.
Nice. Okay, so we got the Power Gauntlets, the Rocket Boots, and the Mark V helmet. Okay, so Power Gauntlets, I'm going to make a prediction before I look at it. I'm going to say that on attack, it may give them either plus 1 attack, or it's going to deal indirect damage on attack. That's my guess. Let's see.
Let's have a look.
Plus 1 attack. Iron Man's attacks gain range, and then after you make a basic attack against Iron Man, spend a lightning and physical to discard the card. Cool. Okay.
Yep.
And on a boost, you reveal it as well.
Yep.
Cool. Very cool. On Rocket Boots, I'm gonna guess that it's going to be plus 1 scheme. Oh, it's a plus 1 attack. Okay, and he gains the arrows,
yeah.
right?
So I think his ability on this like villain card is what gives him the plus scheme from these tech cards, and then
Oh, true. I did forget about that.
So this technically does give him plus 1 scheme and plus 1 attack because it's attached to him, and he goes aerial.
Yeah. Now, I've been playing a decent amount of Fixer, one of the new Thunderbolt that has all the tech
Oh, yeah.
attachments. And I'm like, I think Iron Man and Fixer is going to be a fun little combo to try out, because he's going to
That's
pull out all the tech
crazy.
attack attachments.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
What I'll spoil it doesn't show is that if Iron Man's aerial, it doesn't say like anything does a special bonus. But I'm guessing in some of the many like 10 plus cards we haven't seen from him yet, if he is
Yeah.
aerial from the Rocket Boots, he'll get a bonus. So that's what I'm assuming, and I think that's kind of cool.
That makes a lot of sense. I could see that. I could see them playing into that. And then we've got the Mark V helmet. He can stalwart. Kind of wish normal helmet did that. Attach it and give him a tough status card. That's a brutal card. Oof.
Yeah, so it gets tough, then you can't stun or confuse him, and you have to attack and then pay to get rid of it. But at least it doesn't come in as a boost like the other ones.
True. Iron Man and Fixer together definitely feels like it'd be hard mode. Yeah.
I want to do it.
Random side note. The game that I posted today, I went with Pale Little Spider and
Nice.
Ransacked Armory. Don't give the Thunderbolts attachments. It's not good for you. She was up to Retaliate 3. It was very sad. Anyways, okay, so that's the Mark helmet, and then there's the armor.
Which we've seen.
And then you combine them with Supersonic Punch. I'm so curious to see like all of these villain cards that are like hero cards and like the parallels there. So Supersonic Punch, I guess we're gonna get hit for a lot. When revealed in Alter Ego, he schemes. If he has a tech attachment, you are confused. I hate it. Then he attacks
that is so.
you. And he has piercing in hero form. Ooh.
I think that first one, if you're Ultra Ego, scheming, so the main scheme is now in danger because it's gone up, but then you're confused, so you can't deal with it. It's easy. That's like the kind of nightmare solo play combo. So
Yeah.
you have to respect that Sonic Punch. That's kind of the card you're going to be counting. Is that in the discard pile or not? How safe is it to flip down? Because attack with piercing is pretty niche. If you're relying on toughs, okay, it's more dangerous. But that confuse after he schemes, it's extra motivation to take his attachments off him.
Champion Mel Colossus is crying. Yes. 100%.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's brutal in true solo. I think Black Widow has her covert ops does that as well. She schemes and you're confused, I think.
Yep.
Brutal.
Yep.
I'm playing against Black Widow right now on the table behind me, and I've been using Angel to ditch that card as many times as I possibly can.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty,
I'm
so
interested if you see the rest of this
yeah, yeah,
next
yeah.
scenario thing, but let's stick with this. But yeah, there's some good stuff. What did you think of that bit for Iron Man? Can I ask before we move
I
on?
I'm really excited. I like the idea of it. I think the way that they have the parallels between the player cards and the villain cards are really interesting. Um, I assume that there's going to be something that says that a leader is a villain in cooperative mode, like for any
Yeah.
cards like deal damage to the villain. It's like
I don't
I
know if we've gone
assume.
past it or it's later, but they do 100%
Okay,
put that in. Actually,
okay,
it says it
sweet.
in one of the paragraphs below Iron Man. It's actually on the screen right
Oh,
now.
you treat these leaders as villains for yeah. There you go.
Yep.
Um, I'm curious to see what his next stages look like. I think that'll be kind of fun. I
Yeah.
assume we'll still have the +1 scheme for tech attachments because that just kind of feels like a core mechanic for him. But I am
Imagine if we
kind
went
of
to
curious.
+2 scheme. I don't think so.
Oh, that's got to go. That would
I
be
don't think it
brutal.
does.
But I could see him go up to like a 2 scheme and then +1, right? I could see that kind of
Mm.
be like that. Um, I'm happy with it. Also like kind of feels more like a straightforward villain.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are just you can just play them as villains,
Yeah.
and I kind of like. I don't think we've got one this attachment focus. We've got like maybe Mister Sinister with those special attachments, but they're not coming in and out of play. Crossbones
Mhm.
has the experimental weapon deck, but they're pretty. I'm going to say they're a lot easier to deal with than these, and they don't have like the scheme increase. I think that's kind of an interesting thing. And the more attachments you add up, the more kind of danger the main scheme is in there. So I personally like this one a lot.
Nice. Yeah, I think it'll be really cool. It feels like a good like I don't know, akin to like Drang or Unis, where it's like it doesn't feel like super crazy things are happening, and you can like add in the craziness with the modular sets too, but still have like
Hmm.
this like really cool, solid underlying scenario that kind of carries it too.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So that's everything from Iron Man. So we're gonna move on to the Mighty Avengers. This is what we were talking about earlier. So it feels like
Yes.
Yellow Jacket coming from the Mighty Avengers. So as a core member of the Avengers and the de facto leader of the Registration faction, Iron Man comes with quite a few fellow Avengers in his pre-constructed scenario. Avenger missions like minions. I read that as missions. I was like, I had a flashback to Age of Apocalypse. I was like, no, 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 not again. Don't make me do it again. Um, Minions like Yellow Jacket, who is a 2/1/4 toughness. When revealed, get the enemy leader a tough status card. Interesting. Then as a boost, give the enemy leader a tough status card. I love those boost effects just because I love playing like perfect defense, and so it like immediately pops, and I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're gonna see this format a little bit of like revealed status card, boost status card. That's in a couple of the cards there.
gotcha. Um, so that's cool. That's cool. So that's Yellow Jacket.
Yeah.
Doc Samson, which is from the Initiative.
Yep, that's the mod set.
Okay. Doc Samson is a 2/2/4 Gamma. There's the Gamma support that we've been looking at. Uh,
Maybe.
Guard. When revealed, you are confused. I hate that. If you're already confused, place 2/3 on the main scheme. That's brutal. And then boost, you're confused. Okay, I do not like Doc Samson.
No, a lot of confused, a lot of threat.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the initiate that's one of the 16 mod sets that we're getting.
Yes, and Mighty Avengers is one of the other ones with Yellow
Got
Jacket and the Mighty Avengers card we didn't look at earlier, but we're about to. And then there's Hellcat, who I think we should spring to next.
it. Okay. So I got Hellcat, which is a 1/2/3 quick strike. When revealed, you are stunned. If you're already stunned, take 2 indirect damage. Yeah, I mean like it's like they're not crazy, which I'm happy with. If we're getting 16, I don't want them all to be crazy mod set. These are cool mod sets, but they're not Project Wide Awake. Or not, that's
No.
or Operation Zero Tolerance is what I was thinking. Oh, dude,
Mm.
I just gotta look out my window. It is about to storm like crazy. It looks like here. So
Oh,
hopefully
wow.
we keep we keep power. Um, okay, that's from the same mod set as Doc Samson.
Yes. But I will say, it feels like a couple of these mod sets are maybe designed to be used together, and like you can split them up for a bit more customizability. But a lot of these have one revealed effects, and I think it's now time to look at the Mighty Avengers card.
Sorry, I'm trying to do a poll. I've just realized how to do polls on YouTube, so I'm doing that now.
Ooh.
Mighty Avengers, which is a treachery. So, if I am remembering correctly, one of those main scheme decks, you had to go find treacheries. Or no, it was minions and side schemes that you would deal out, and then treacheries were brutal when you did deal them out.
There was one main scheme which every time you reveal a treachery, you put like a threat on the main scheme once per round or something. But,
yeah, tell me what this does. I feel like I've been reading them all.
It's fine, because I've technically read them. But Mighty Avengers is treachery. When revealed, resolve the when revealed ability of each minion in play. If no revealed abilities are resolved this way, gain surge. So this is why it made sense. This is why it made sense with context, because now you can see what these revealed abilities are. So these things come out, they're going to stun, they're going to do these different things, and then they're going to do it again if this comes up. So if you don't get rid of them, you're going to get hit with all the revealed effects, which I think is pretty... I mean, I think it's fun, but it's obviously a little bit scary depending on which ones you have. So there's probably some we haven't even seen here, or maybe later in the article as well, that you can maybe combo with. And I love the idea of taking this mod set into existing scenarios with minions which have unrevealed effects. And then you can do some... Yeah. Oh, no, please no. Not the life drain. So I like this. I like how interactive it is with like the other minions and things in the game.
Honestly an amazing card. I really like this way. I really like this card. It is brutal. We have like these when revealed effects, but yeah, now I'm curious, like, okay, chat, what are the worst when revealed effects on minions? Because now I'm like, I'm scared. I'm a little scared, but Sauron is brutal. There's the Exodus.
Oh yeah,
or Exodius or whatever his name is.
He gets that like self-heal, like, yeah. I don't want that again. I really don't want that again. I don't.
Is Arcade the one where when revealed you resolve the when defeated on all the side schemes?
I think he brings in a side scheme.
Oh, even worse.
And his treachery triggers something on the side schemes, I think. Yeah, triggers when defeated on
minions? Them. Yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, not the Reaver minion. No.
Azazel. Oof. I think, yeah, brutal.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, that's so cool.
The Nemesis set is kind of an interesting thought, isn't it, with the when revealed effect? That could go crazy depending on some of them, perhaps.
When revealed, you lose.
Some of them might feel like that. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And you'll have your hands full just trying to stay afloat against Earth's mightiest heroes. Oh, okay. I love it. I'm sold on the parallels between the player cards and the villain cards. EMH. Sorry, what's up?
This might disappoint you because it does have a different art.
No, I'm fan of different art.
This one's cool.
Cool. So we've got 3 Hender 1. Each Avenger minion, which is just a hilarious sentence to read in the context of Marvel Champions, right? But each Avenger minion gains the printed keywords of each other Avenger minion. Interesting.
So if someone with Quick Strike is out and a new minion comes in, it's going to Quick Strike you.
And toughness.
Or if it's got one, becoming with tough. I don't know if any have steady or like Doc Samson has guard, so then they all gain guard. It's kind of an interesting thing. I'm curious to see how that works. I think in big multiplayer, you'll see that more. The more chance of more minions being revealed together and then having an impact. But I like the idea of it. I like the teamwork that this one suggests. That's what it struck me. The Avengers kind of stronger together with this card.
Oh yeah, okay. That's a really cool thematic tie-in. I like it. EMH, and it has that amplify token, which brutal. We're at card 21 out of 62. This is insane. This is a huge lore drop in the Marvel Champions universe. Okay. Cool. So I like the mod sets that we're seeing. What are your thoughts on the mod set so far?
Yeah, I like them. I think my takeaway is because it's going to be balanced for competitive to some extent. A lot of these minions seem to have like quite similar health, quite similar, effects, like a tough card or a confused card, which is fine. I like them overall, though. There are some really interesting effects. There's teamwork effects, the when revealed effects that you can then trigger with the treachery. There's a lot of synergy. There's a lot of interaction I think what my biggest highlight is between a lot of these cards in general, as well as the mod sets we just saw.
Interesting. Yeah, sick. I'm so happy right now.
You're so happy.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Captain Marvel next, who is also on the registration side, not the resistance side. So
Correct.
Captain Marvel. Tell me what Captain Marvel does.
Oh, I want to read out the two cards here if that's okay, because they're very linked, and then I can watch your horrified reaction,
Love
which I'm excited for. So Captain Marvel says, was one scheme to attack Aerial and Avenger. Set up. The enemy team finds the energy channel attachment, attaches it to Captain Marvel, and I think we should skip to that now. It's got the same art as the player one, but it's permanent. Force response: after a leader, hero, or ally attacks Captain Marvel, you get to place one energy counter there. That's a force response, can't avoid it. Then, if there are at least 4 counters there, remove them all, and Captain Marvel attacks with overkill against that character. So you hit her, and she's going to overkill attack you back, and that's kind of the scenario, and I love this so much.
It's a really fun mechanic.
To go back to Captain Marvel quickly, her force responses after she attacks and defeats the character, which is mostly going to be, when you try and block with an ally and she smooshes them, gets to place an extra energy counter on energy channel. So our spoilers, while some of her encounter cards add energy counters, she's really going to be driving up that energy channel. So when you hit her, she hits back.
Yeah, I really like that mechanic right there. I think that's really, really fun. So, and you can kind of time it out. So there are going to be ways when, like you said, some of her cards are going to add counters onto energy channel, but when she attacks and defeats a character, so we're seeing again the punishing of chump blocking without just saying you can't chump block.
I like this because it's kind of an overkill scenario in that she's gonna, probably several times the scenario do that attack with overkill, but you can just block her normal attacks and you won't take damage. However, it's gonna drive up the next overkill attack, so it's really interesting kind of information to weigh up. And also, I just want to quickly point out, I love the art for Captain Marvel here. It looks awesome, I think.
Yes, yeah, she looks angry.
She is.
I'm not messing with Cap. Oh my gosh. Okay, so she built up energy counters over time. It has 4 more. She can spin them.
Well, it says forced response. If there are at least this many, remove them, and then she attacks. So I think she does spend them.
Okay. I didn't know if there was a PvP wording where you could choose to trigger or not trigger.
I mean, if there is, I haven't seen it in the article, but I think that might just be a slight phrasing thing.
After a leader, hero, or ally attacks Captain Marvel. So you could get attacked in Alter Ego too. So if you have an ally attack Captain Marvel while you're in Alter Ego, she could just swing into you.
She will attack the character that attacks, so she'll hit the ally, but obviously the overkill does mean you're gonna take it.
I like that even more. That's so cool. I missed that. She attacks the character that attacks. Oh, that's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, she's like that kind of retaliate, but it's not like the retaliate, keyword. It's like she'll actually just hit you back properly. I really like it.
That can get nasty when she has an attack boost with something like Cosmic Flight. Okay.
Here we go.
Cosmic Flight, giving her an attack boost. What?
I think what they've done for a couple of these,
yeah,
it is. But I think what they've done is on a lot of these attachments that heroes have, the villain version does something similar, but also gives them like a passive boost kind of thing.
Got it. So +1 attack. Same kind of idea as Iron Man, where we're going to reveal the card whenever we pop open. And then when Captain Marvel would take more than 3 damage from an attack, reduce that amount to 3, then discard this card. Interesting. Okay.
So you don't pop it against a weak attack, but if you do a big attack, that's what consumes it. I think that's really kind of interesting. I don't think we've seen that before in Marvel Champions. At least, we can use Cosmic Flight as a hero, and we're probably going to save it to when we're taking at least 3 damage or something. But as a villain card that reacts, that lets more damage just trickle through unchanged, but punishes big damage. I really like that.
Yeah. Treachery is like Photonic Blast.
Oh, yes.
When revealed, Alter Ego, discard an ally or support you control. Oh, God, I hate that. That's... ugh. And then when we reveal it in hero, she's going to attack you and place an energy counter on energy channel. Now, I think it is important to note that she is only going to attack you
when you attack her.
you attack her. So if this places
Yeah.
the fourth energy counter, she does not attack you twice.
To my understanding, she could build up like 12 energy counters there, and it won't do anything in terms of making her attack you until you like poke her. It could be one attack ally or something, and then all of them get wiped out, and she's doing the overkill attack.
Yeah. Yeah. Get up in game. At least we can expect Crisis Interdiction to be wimpy.
That might be some foreshadowing.
Oh, okay. So it's the opposite, effectively, of Photonic Blast. When you're in Alter Ego, she's going to scheme, place an energy counter, and then on a hero, place 2 threat on each scheme. Okay, I don't. Oh, when you're in Alter, it's like Assault for when you're in Alter Ego and scheming. It's a true solo nightmare.
I mean, the hero revealed effect on Crisis Interdiction, I feel like is very weak. I mean, if you have a bunch of side schemes out, maybe not so much, but 2 threat, I'm fine with it. But the scheming and energy counter is kind of interesting. Overall, I quite like this. I do think the hero effect is quite weak, though, which is thematic. Sorry, accurate.
Accurate, yeah. I'm kind of surprised that 2 threat doesn't scale with player.
I think you haven't got to this yet, but I will just quickly mention that in the competitive mode, you're likely to have another scheme out. So in that one, it might be a bit worse.
Got it. Okay. Cards like Crisis Interdiction and Energy Absorption, when revealed, place 1 energy counter on energy channel, heal 1 damage for each counter on energy channel. And on a boost, we're gonna place in. I like that. That's not overly punishing, but it's like it's annoying.
I think it's assuming that she doesn't have any treacheries or anything that cause her to spend her counters or something. It kind of motivates you to, when she's at, I don't know, 4 or 5 or 6 counters, because she could just build them up herself and you don't attack her, you're building up the board or something. It kind of motivates you to maybe make her attack occasionally, because what if she gets to like 10 while you're building or something, and then she heals for 10? I don't know. It could be a bit weird. You probably don't have it damaged that much then, but it's just an interesting thought. So I'm curious to see her other cards, but yeah, a lot of counter build up and overkill attacks.
Yeah, and so if you do damage Captain Marvel not via an attack, whether it's overkill or it's just a support dealing damage, it's not going to trigger energy channel, which is good to know.
Maria's going to be fine.
Maria's always going to be fine. Don't worry.
She's also good against the overkill, but that's a different topic. But yeah, I think what this scenario strikes me as, you don't want to deal 1 or 2 points of damage. You want to deal a big hit to her, so you're getting more damage for less counters kind of thing, or less counters per point of damage, which is where I think the Cosmic Flight punishing big damage comes even more interesting. So
yeah.
I really like this one. This one really excites me.
This one I think is more interesting than Iron Man to me.
I agree.
From what we've seen, I think it's a little bit more dynamic. It's a little bit more interesting. There's a little bit more of a way to kind of mitigate a lot of those energy channels, at least in the cards that we've seen. And like when you're going to be putting it, when you're going to be attacking her to take that attack right back. So I really like the Captain Marvel. I like Iron Man as well, but I think Captain Marvel seems a little bit more interesting from a design standpoint to me. I'm curious, is that where you land as well?
Yeah. I think I'll spoil softly. Iron Man, I liked Iron Man. Actually, I liked the Iron Man one quite a lot, but it's my least favorite of these. So I'm tipping the next ones to be interesting. I'm curious to see what you think. But what you said about this one, Captain Marvel being dynamic is what really struck me. Iron Man's going to get attachments, and yeah, you can remove them. But Captain Marvel reacting to you, damaging her, getting to attack back, it feels more like fighting an actual player, even though it's like effectively a villain in the context we're talking about. And I really like that, and it feels like very strategic in how you're going to damage her, which is not something we always think about. Maybe with retaliate effects, but this is retaliate, but more dynamic. That is the word.
Yeah, nice. Okay, 2 more mod sets. Okay, so we have seen 4 modular sets out of the 16 in the article so far.
Something like that. I didn't count, but you're going to see more even after this, just to let you know. There's good stuff coming up. There's good stuff.
I love it. As for her pre-constructed scenario, so this is probably like her suggested mod sets and stuff like that. Okay.
We're gonna break that.
Nice.
I want to
Okay.
break the suggested stuff.
Captain Marvel flies in with the full support of S.H.I.E.L.D. behind her. That checks. First
Yep.
is the elite unit of Cape Killers, notably not an elite minion.
That's funny. But the unit together are elite.
So a 1/2 quick strike shield traded minion. When
Yep.
Cape Killer attacks an identity with the unregistered
Unregistered.
trait, it gets +2 for the attack.
Yes. So I should probably explain this one.
Yeah,
You're going to see it
please.
in the next couple of cards. But do you know how the Genosha set from like Age of Apocalypse? You know, if you're an escaped mutant, certain cards do other things. There's going to be an obligation type thing that gives you the unregistered trait.
Got it.
So then, if you're marked as unregistered, these guys are really gunning for you.
Okay. That makes sense. And so because this is from the registration side, that does make sense. So I wonder if you're on the resistance side, you're going to be more apt to get that obligation. And then they come in. If you have that, they're coming in with quick striking for 4, which is brutal.
That's insane.
Oh, ow, yeah, that's elite.
I think what's really funny is it doesn't have the elite trait, but even in the flavor text of that card, it mentions they're an elite unit again.
You specialize hunting down unregistered supers. This is what you were talking about. So this is an obligation.
Yeah.
Your identity gains the unregistered trait. Then as an alter ego action, discard an identity specific card from your hand, discard this card. It does have a acceleration token on it as well. It feels like mark targeted for elimination. Where it's like it's not bad until it is.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely got that kind of energy, same kind of thing. Very mild encounter card until it makes another encounter card angry.
Yep. Alrighty, so that is from Cape Killer, which is also where Cape. Well, that makes sense. That's where Cape Killer is from. And bringing them in, villain. Tell me what this one does.
This is a treachery with another picture of Daredevil. Where's Daredevil? When revealed, exhaust each unregistered identity. Otherwise, the enemy team searches the deck and discard pile for a copy of unregistered super and deals it to use a face-down encounter card. So that card we just looked at, the obligation that makes you unregistered, it's going to go and find it, unless you've got it and you're exhausted. So I don't feel like this one is too bad overall, but I find it quite interesting that it deals it to you as a face-down encounter card. So you know it's coming up, but it doesn't do anything immediately, actually.
Yeah. We have to be getting Daredevil this wave, right? Like,
I don't know if we'll get to this wave, but I mean, maybe the wave, like the bit after this, like it's gotta, like they're teasing us so much. You ain't enough, and I don't know. It's just, I want Daredevil so much.
Yeah. We have multiple card arts from this expansion, and like I think like from previous expansions, we've gotten art of heroes that have come in the wave after. Well, I mean, like we've got art and things that didn't come, but I feel like it's almost a meme at this point.
I wonder if Caleb, because he worked on like the core set, and this is like his swan song, he's like, I want to tease them some more.
Yeah, right.
But I also think maybe it's a comic book thing. One of my friend who I was trying to upset by putting Spider-Man with mutagen formula, mentioned something along the lines of Luke Cage has a very significant role in like the comic storyline. So maybe it's like to do with that, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll see how we go.
Get Up in Game notes that this is another trait for strength and diversity.
If you have Rogue with touched, but yeah, I know, that puts on you with the obligation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what am I talking about? Oh, that's really funny. Like, oh yeah, I'm unregistered now. I hit harder. It's got that rebel energy. That's really funny.
Right behind them are a full platoon of. They don't say it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Non-elite shield soldiers.
Yeah, you're correct.
1/13 when revealed, put the topmost shield minion in the encounter discard pile into play engaged with you. Oh,
it's a double minion. It's only a 1/13. It's only a 1/13, but it's gonna go and find shield. And this is from a different mod set. This is from Martial Law, but it can go and find one from a different mod set. So it could get one of the Cape Killer Quick Strikers against you, or in Agents of Shield, it doesn't say this, but in Agents of Shield, there's a Shield modular with other Shield guys in it. So they can all kind of interconnect, which I think is super awesome.
Yeah. And then if you pull in this guy, or not that one, which one was it?
Has to be Shield.
Oh, okay. Yeah. but still, like that's really interesting. I like that.
And there's a
Does
boost that
it
comes into play as well. But
nice,
the
but
put
it
into
doesn't
play
trigger the one revealed.
exactly.
Cool. Your team with a rapid response. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. So we're getting a rapid response. This is a leadership card. I'm guessing that when an ally is defeated, you can. No, wait, hold on. What does rapid response do?
Well, my prediction when I saw this was, oh, it's gonna defeat a minion, bring it back with one less health. I thought that was like the no-brainer, but actually, it's a when revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. And then I'm thinking, oh, it's a minion summoner, but it's not even that. If you are an alter ego, you place threat on the main scheme equal to that minion scheme. Or if you're in hero form, you deal damage to your hero equal to that minion's attack. So it's a card that finds a minion and either deals damage or adds threat equal to their relevant stat, but doesn't bring the minion in.
Interesting.
It's like a quick
So
hit from them. This seems quite forgiving to me.
yeah, I was like, I don't think that this is fairly innocuous. I mean, like the most we're getting is probably 3.
Yeah, I mean the shield soldier in this set has 1 attack. So I don't know what we're getting, but you could combine it with a different modular, maybe a villainous. That wouldn't even trigger here. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably mostly 3. Maybe there's a rare 4, but
Laufey, I think
3
that's
damage
4.
or for 3 damage that you can't avoid can be dangerous. I mean with a tough status card, but you can't defend against this. So there's something there. But for me, looks pretty forgiving right now.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned with this. The scheme maybe, but really it's no, this is way better than a Dark Designs or something. I'd rather have this. You are milling yourself, which can be kind of annoying. Especially if you're like an Ebony Maw and you only have like 2 minions in the entire deck and you just
Yeah.
deck yourself out again.
But I would guess from these 2 sets, I'm gonna guess 3 of each of the 5 are gonna be minions. So there'll be at least 6 if you combine them. Martial Law and Cape Killer in a scenario. That's my
Gotcha.
prediction.
Yeah. Also, I said 4, but we also saw Spider-Man and Maria Hill, so we've seen at least 6 mod sets plus Marshall. Yeah, so we've seen at least 6 of the mod sets, so that's cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, I think 6 is correct.
And we are moving. Oh, what's up?
Technically, I didn't point it out, but one of the cards we looked at is from a different mod set as well. Just in the little bottom corner, but we'll see that coming up.
Okay, cool. So that is the registration side of everything. So we have that side, and then we have the resistance side. Anything that we need to be thinking about? Or are we ready to dive into resistance?
I mean, I think we've seen a lot here. I mean, we both kind of slightly prefer the look of Captain Marvel. I feel like these mod sets are still interesting. I'm good to go.
Alrighty. So Captain America.
Yeah.
Still, as difficult as this may be, the resistance fighters are no pushovers themselves, especially with Captain America leading from the front. Villain, what does Cap do? Hey, we got to read Captain America. We're good.
Yeah, it's kind of a Captain America. I'm glad you asked me to read this one out because I had to reread this one, specifically his shield, like 3 or 4 times. I couldn't get my head around it initially. Like I misread it like twice. But he's a 1 scheme, 2 attack, Avenger. He has 14 hit points per person. Set up, the enemy team finds his shield and attaches it to him. And as a response, after his shield is attached to him, give him a tough status card. This is going to be very relevant because you're going to be able to take his shield from him and he's going to be able to take it back. It's going to be like a little thing there, which I think is kind of fun. So to explain how that works, Cap's shield is permanent and attaches to him. The attached character gains Retaliate 1 and attacks against him lose piercing. I actually thought that mechanic was really interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
My first thought was Colossus needs this card as an aspect or basic card. So that's my first thought. So Cap generally has this shield, and he's got that retaliate, and it's all very thematic. He gets tough, so he's quite defensive, like you'd imagine with his shield, and shield block as a hero. But there's a false response here. After a hero or the Captain America leader uses their attack to attack stat, that is basic attack kind of thing, to attack and damage attached character, attach Cap's shield to the character. So if you can use your basic attack, yeah. So if you get through his tough card, and if you basic attack and it deals damage, you get his shield, and now you've got retaliate 1, and you can't be having an attack with piercing against you. So I really like that. I really enjoy that. So now you could be, Thor or Iron Man or someone fighting Captain America and have his shield, at least temporarily, which I think is really, really fun. But if Captain America manages to, attack you, a regular villain attack kind of thing, manages to deal damage to you, he's going to yoink it right back. And then he gets a tough status card, and he's all shielded up again. And you have to get through that tough and then get to damage him, because you can't pierce his any toughs he gets because of that shield.
Honestly, this may be my favorite card that I've seen so far in this article. I think that this bouncing with the shield, we saw with Power Stone from, I think that was Rise of Red Skull, right? We saw that, and that was that was Guardians box, wasn't it? Yeah, Power Stone.
I think so. Yeah.
Box. But yeah, so we see this like bouncing attachment back and forth, and it's kind of this tug of war thing. I think this is way more interesting because like it does give you a benefit, but it gives Cap even bigger of a benefit. So you have to be careful of when you are attacking him, because he's going to try and take it right back, which is going to give him a tough status card that you cannot just get rid of. I love it.
He's got some fun stuff that kind of combos in. I'm excited to talk about this with you. I really like this. This again, like figuring out who attacks what, where does it move, how does it move. I misread it a couple of times initially, but it's really fun. And I actually like seeing the art for it again. I know it's the same art for the shield, but I think the attachment format lets it open up and you can see that light shining out. I just think it looks very heroic. I really like it.
100%. Okay, so I do have a question. Yes. Captain America, the enemies... Okay, so I think the setup on this is because we have modular main scheme decks, but the setup has to also be printed on stage 2, right? Because if you're playing, or do you just expert? There is not expert.
I don't know.
In this box.
I hope there's expert, but I actually have no idea.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. But like it normally would be printed on the main scheme, but I think because we have multiple main schemes, they just are not printing it there because we have different like minion or villains that compare with different main schemes, and so I feel like it has to be printed on stage 2 and probably stage 3 because you can play skirmish mode.
Maybe it's when revealed, so if you knock him over, he'll yoink his shield back or something.
That's probably it. That's probably it. When revealed, find his shield, attach it. Yeah, good call.
Yeah. Because it's a permanent card, it has to be sad. I think, I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure it works, and if not, we'll write into the rules, and they'll think about it. We'll figure it out. I'm sure it works. I really like this. I think you're gonna like the rest of these cards coming up. There's 2 here in particular that I really like.
Nice. We also have a question in chat from Silver Dragon. I believe that if you are playing against Captain America, you cannot play the title Captain America to the table because there's already a unique Captain America on the table. So you can't get the shield twice, unfortunately.
Yeah, the unique rules are really strange, but yeah, like I'm sure I went through the unique rules and it never mentioned you couldn't have a hero and villain with the same name. It just doesn't say that in the 1.6 rules. So like Nebula versus Nebula, Magneto versus Magneto. Can you do Cap versus Cap? But then can you not have the shield? But you could have Cap versus Cap. I don't know. Maybe they're going to update the unique rules for this. I'm not sure what the intent is.
Is it Captain America's shield or is it Cap's shield?
I think it's Captain America's shield. I think you could have. I think you could have both.
I'm checking right now. Yeah, in Cap's, it's Captain America's shield, so it's a different title card, so you could have both of them.
That's crazy. I bet they did that on purpose.
Yeah, I bet they did. I love it. That's cool. Okay, let's talk about it. So his iconic shield in hand. Cap is notoriously tough, so put down. Nice pun, Peter. I love it. Emphasized by the steady stream of tough status cards the shield can give him. Even though you can pull the shield back from his grasp, cards like Shield Block, which is a treachery when revealed. If Cap's shield is attached to Captain America, give him a tough status card and a face-down boost card. Otherwise, attach Cap's shield to him and give him a face-down boost card. Ugh.
So either way, he's gonna get tough.
Yeah. And because you have the shield on it, no piercing.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. No piercing, no way to get through that tough except the hard way. And yeah, because whenever he gets a shield, he gets a tough. Yeah, and you're getting that boost card as well. Makes it more likely to be able to like get damage through to you to get this shield, back if you took it like from him next. He's really wants that shield.
That's Okay, that mirrors the power of the event card, I think. Like, that's pretty brutal. I like it.
Yes.
And shield toss. Oh, is this going to give you the shield? I haven't read it yet. I hope this gives you the shield.
Can I read this one? I love this
Yes,
one.
please do it.
I love this one. So, as a treachery, an alter ego, it's very simple. He schemes against you. That's a simple bit. But in hero form, if he has his shield, he deals 2 damage to each character you control. So the shield will bounce between all your allies and you.
Oh, ow.
It's awful, but it's so thematic, right? Because that's
Yeah.
what shield toss does. It hits multiple things. So I really like that. If he doesn't have his shield, he just gets his shield back. So it's his shield and a tough card. So not as bad. But I kind of love that, bounce between all your characters. It excites me so much, and it probably shouldn't, but I really like it.
I really like how this box is just absolutely punishing to allies. Like,
yep.
this is a rubble storm that you can't plan for, right? I mean, like,
I mean, if you take the shield away from him, you can. So if you make sure you really keep on top of that shield, so there is counterplay, and it's a treachery, so you could cancel it. But yeah, it could come up at any time, and you wouldn't know it.
Oh, I love it. Okay, very cool. So that's shield toss. You can make it just as a temporary setback, gaining additional kickers if he already has the shield. Yeah, you just have to take that shield from him. It's like
Take
the
it away, hold it above
opposite.
so we can't get it.
Ant-Man in giant form.
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting because like Power Stone, when you're fighting Ronin, you kind of like don't want the Power Stone. Like, you want to be strategic when you take the Power Stone. It feels like there is no downside to just taking Cap shield away. You don't want
There's
him to have
upside.
the shield. There's upside, yeah.
You get retaliate. And the timing on him and his shield is a response. So if you punch him, you have to suffer the retaliate, then you get the shield. But vice versa, even if he manages to get the shield back, he's gonna have taken the retaliate. So hit him in the face with his own shield.
Yep. He's gonna be winding up with a heroic strike. What does this do? Oh, this is cool art. This is really cool art.
Yeah, this is new art for a card we
Yeah.
already have, which I really like. This is very awesome. Very awesome. It sounds like a weird phrase, but it is very awesome.
So heroic strike, when revealed, alter ego, discard an ally or upgrade you control. We've seen that before. The Captain Marvel had something like that, right?
It was ally or support.
Oh, okay.
So it's slightly different, but basically the same.
Okay. And then when revealed as a hero, Captain America attacks you. If it damages a character, stun that character.
Yep. That's like heroic strike.
Yikes. Ouch.
Yep.
And then we've got Super Soldier Serum. What does this do? Oh,
Shall I read this one?
Yes, please.
So it gives +2 attack. Attach it to Captain America. When he attacks, it gains overkill. And that's how he gets his shield back. But after the attack finishes, you discard it. But you're going to get a +2 attack. Remember, some of his other effects give him a face down boost card. So if it lines up badly for you, he's going to be swinging. You're going to have to defend and hope, because he's going to, flex that super serum muscle. Really wants his frisbee.
okay. Question about rules.
Yep.
So on a boost, you reveal the card. Have we already passed the forced interrupt to trigger the overkill, or does he get overkill on that attack?
I think we've passed it. When he attacks, it's like the beginning.
Yeah.
Things that trigger when they attack, it's kind of the same wording as like Spider-Man when an enemy initiates an attack.
Yeah.
So my understanding is we passed it. I could be wrong, but Marvel Champion is a little bit complicated sometimes in timing. I'm not going to get into that any more than that. But to me, he's already made that happening. And it says at the end of this attack. So I think he's bypassed the time where he's going to be getting that overkill there, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, if chat has another or more input, I'm curious what y'all think about that as well, because like the way that I'm reading it is that the overkill does not happen on the boost.
That'd be so shocking, wouldn't it? Suddenly, I mean, it's just plus. I guess it's 2 boost icons and overkill, which we have seen with something similar, but I'm pretty confident. Pretty confident.
Yeah. Okay.
To me, in my head, that's how the rules work. But sometimes the rules don't work how I feel like the rules say they work.
Yeah. Right.
I would just put that out there. But I like this. I still I still think just the way he's got those tools to get the shield back, I really liked it.
Alrighty, so Champion says that it wouldn't get overkill. Griffin says that the attack would get overkill, like Venom. We do have the, yeah, there.
But well, Venom
symbiotic
gets an
strength.
attachment put into play that gives attacks overkill. This is when he attacks, that attack gains overkill, and I feel like
And
he's
I don't
already started.
to like do a counterpoint. Also, why would they word it like that if it's not that way, right? Like, why wouldn't they just say Cap's attacks get overkill, discard the card at the end of the attack if it's not meant to not apply to the boost reveal?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm
Yeah.
leaning. Is like it's
Yeah.
really weird wording if it's supposed to give that attack overkill.
Yeah. I mean, if it was that way, couldn't it say boosts give this attack +2 and overkill? That would just be what it says, right? They wouldn't have to have it attached.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's true. That's very true.
they could totally do that. So
Yeah, it looks like a lot of people are saying the triggered window is passed. The trigger has to trigger says get up and get. The trigger has to trigger. Nice.
Okay, that's a little dose of rules discussion.
Cap looks rough. Cap looks mean, and I am here for it. So far, if I'm ranking the villains in the box, think I think I'm more interested in Captain America than Marvel at this point. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I'm worried that he's going to keep getting these tufts, keep getting his retaliate, and I'm going to feel like it's maybe a slog to get through. That's my worry. But of course, you keep that shield, it's going to be a lot easier. There's not going to be retaliate. I don't know. I like the Cap one a lot, though. I think that's really interesting to have like a tanky and like a tug of war kind of thing with a shield. I think I'm on team Captain Marvel for the scenarios right now, just because I love the way that she like reacts to you so dynamically. But Captain America kind of does as well. I don't know if they've designed it this way because there's a PvP option, or if it's just what they're experimenting with. But I really like this. I really like it when the villain feels like alive and got some kind of
Yeah.
response to your shenanigans.
Yeah, 100%. Skelly brings up a good point that Captain America looks like a really good hero to take a really good villain to take a perfect defense build up against.
Yeah.
The entire box kind of feels that way. It feels like we are prioritizing heroes defending
Yeah.
with like all the ally hate, the things that happen with chump blocking with allies and stuff. I like it.
Maybe that's why they need to redesign old heroes, because a lot of the old heroes don't have as good defensive tools as
Yep.
newer heroes, I would say.
Yep.
But
Dude, arm
I
block,
still think
love it.
arm block. Oh, that's so fun.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah. I don't know what I was saying. I think I was just like saying, yeah, Captain America's awesome.
He is.
So we'll see how it plays out, but I love the look of it.
Nice. Let's move on to our new and secret Avengers we got here. Joining Captain America's side in the Resistance are many of his fellow Avengers, including Falcon. You want to tell me about
Again?
Falcon, who in the art
Yes.
makes it looks like he's missing an arm, but I think
Yeah,
that's just his glove.
Yeah, so let's talk about Falcon. Falcon is one of the two newest heroes. No, wait, wrong Falcon. Two scheme, 2 attack, 3 health. Not that bad, but he's got the teamwork, and we're going to see that in these 2 mod sets we're looking at here. They both have teamwork with Avengers, so they work with each other, which I think is kind of cool. And when defeated, this is what's really cool about some of these. You're going to see, give this card to the enemy as a face-down boost card. So your minion becomes a boost card, and the boost effect is different. The boost card, you are confused, and if you're already confused, it gains 2 boost icons. But when you're defeating Falcon, that Venom's going to be confusing you, so you can kind of see it coming, you can kind of plan around it, but that's what's going to happen. So I kind of like that. Some of these things are very like mechanically crunchy, like, oh, teamwork this, when defeated this, boost card this, but it all works, it all flows, it all works, and I like it. I think this is really fun. So not that bad, but you're going to be confused next time.
Mm-hmm. Amplify just got a boost with this, right? Like, because now we're giving the villain multiple encounter cards, so you have to get rid of those amplifies even faster.
But remember, Cap can, because this is the kind of what it's in Cap's pre-constructed version, right?
Yeah.
So Cap's already got a way to get extra face-down boost cards. Now this could be another face-down boost card.
Ugh.
But I hope he doesn't have Super Soldier Serum at that point.
I really like this design space. Give the
Cool,
villain
isn't
enemy
it?
leader. Yeah, that is really cool. Black Panther has the same thing. And if I'm understanding teamwork correctly, teamwork triggers if there is another minion with that trait. That other minion
Yes,
does not have to have the teamwork keyword.
correct,
Cool.
correct. I believe the ones in these sets do have it. I mean, at least it makes sense to me. But maybe there's some other sets that aren't these two with Avengers in. There are some mod sets we've already seen. I think, like Yellow Jacket and Doc Samson have the Avenger trait, but they're a registration on the registration side. So I think officially, at least in these scenarios, so maybe it's just in like certain mode, you can't combine them. But
Sure.
maybe in normal, regular scenarios, you could like drop them into crossbones. But yeah, teamwork. If we have Falcon on the board, Black Panther jumps in. He will attack. And even if the other one didn't have teamwork, as long as it's the Avenger trait, gonna go for it. And yeah, Black Panther. I guess I'm just gonna talk about him. Two
Do it.
scheme, two attack, 4 hit points. So it's very much like Falcon, just slightly tankier. But again, when defeated, becomes a boost card. This one I hate. This exhaust
Uh,
each upgrade you control. I don't like
oh.
it. I don't like it at all. It's like Magneto, and I do like the Magneto villain, but when that magnetic card exhausts all my stuff, I'm so sad.
Yeah.
Um, and I
Oof.
wonder if this is because Black Panther the hero has a lot of
Yeah.
upgrades. Now he's targeting your upgrades as a boost. I don't know. But
I think
yeah,
so. I
there
mean,
he
like
is.
that makes thematic sense to me. That oh my goodness, yes. And it's on a boost. And so like if you are playing that perfect defense, you hate to see it because now all of my hard to ignores, my unflappables, everything is exhausted. No.
Yeah. So there's no escape. You get punished for allies. You get punished for upgrades. But at least if when you defeat him, you can kind of see it coming a bit, maybe.
Mhm.
Unless you draw him as a boost card. There you go.
Some of these boost effects are pretty nasty. I like it feels like
Hmm.
target acquired is going to be a really solid card throughout this box.
It feels like they're stepping up some of these boost effects. So,
Yeah.
yep, stay on your toes.
Yeah. I found myself running target acquired more and more, especially
Yes,
in standard 3 because some of those nemesis sets hitting you before the minion activation phase, it can be game
horrible.
ending. Yeah. So that's interesting. So exhaust each upgrade you control. Thanks. I hate it. This is from Secret Avengers and New Avengers. So Falcon and Panther are from both. I'm curious if it's similar to or like do you have like Falcon is the new Avenger main villain and then we have 4 other cards that kind of support the Falcon idea in New Avengers or do we have like multiple new Avenger it would have to be
I
multiple because it has the
it's
teamwork, right?
I think it's multiple. Also, because we've seen the Spider-Man set, it's called Spider-Man. This is not called Falcon. You see what I like?
Yeah.
So, I think it has multiple. I realized as we were going when you said how many mod sets have we seen. There's a new Avengers side scheme, which is the cut at the end of this paragraph. We did look at that one before. That is the one we've seen before. If you remember, with the hazard icon, which shuffles the minions back in when you defeat it. So it's going to shuffle the teamwork guys back in. So we did see that one earlier in our little stream video here.
Oof.
But we've not seen the one in between.
Oh, and Goliath. Okay, so I missed
Oh,
one
Goliath as
here.
well. Yeah, I missed
Yeah,
him too.
so yeah, there you go. You get more minions in the new Avengers.
Yeah, 5 health to attack. And as a boost, he is gonna give the enemy leader a tough.
And if they're already tough, they get to I really
Yes,
like I
two.
really like it. It's a fun design space for a mod set, I think.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm curious if we get more Avengers. Maybe it's exciting to be able to like I don't know. I feel like all these characters are very iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Falcon and Black Panther. Maybe it's an MCU thing. Seem a bit more iconic than like Yellow Jacket and Doctor Samson. Like I know Yellow Jacket. I'm pretty sure. I think multiple people have had this name, but I know Hank Pym has been Yellow Jacket. So maybe that was unfair, but yeah, it's kind of exciting to see all these names I know, and now I get to beat them up.
Absolutely. Get Up in Game just had a really good point. These are really good Claw and Venom modular sets.
Anytime you
There's
see
all the
those boost
boost.
things,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
And
really
he also
fun.
brings in like a minion at the start, so you could
Yep.
if you can't clear the teamwork thing, that could trigger soon. So a little
Nice.
extra thing for teamwork for him sometimes.
New Avengers, which is the side scheme that we've seen. Oh yeah, we're shuffling. Oh gosh, I hate it.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing. The one we saw
No.
earlier. Put some back in, so more teamwork can happen.
No, thank you.
And yep. And if you don't get rid of it, the hazard icon means more teamwork can happen. So solo play is still not like super likely to trigger, I don't think. But two player it starts to become a lot more 3 and 4 player. It is probably going to be triggering a decent little bit, I would imagine.
Nice.
Hmm.
Okay. Cool. Cool
We
mod sets
we
here. Yeah.
we missed we missed a card just as
We did.
between New Avengers and Black Panther. Sneaky Freedom Fighters.
Ooh. This treachery has a when revealed, resolve the boost ability of each minion in play.
It's
That's
like the Mighty
cool.
Avengers that triggers that when revealed, but this is now the
Yeah.
boost thing. It's different but the same, and it's
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna you're gonna get confused or something, or give the villain a tough, etc.
What boost abilities are on other mod sets? I'm curious. Like there are definitely boost abilities on like I'm playing against Selena, the Hellfire mod
Oh
set.
yeah,
It's like discard an ally you control, right? Like so this has even more implications when you start combining it with mod sets outside of this box too.
yeah. I mean, even in the core set, Masters of Evil has stuff like all heroes take a damage. I think is on Whirlwind. We played with that mod set like earlier today, I think. And there's like even in like Rise of Red Skull, there's the Jet Troopers, which as a boost effect make the villain attack again afterwards without a boost card.
Yep. Yep.
So that kind of thing can happen. So definitely being able to trigger boosts out of sequence, out of when you'd expect, is kind of unique.
And then as a boost, you resolve the boost ability of each minion engaged with you. Brutal. Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's look at Spider Woman. So Spider Woman is where Captain America leads the charge in the overt resistance. Spider Woman poses a significant covert threat. So Spider Woman, tell me about this leader villain.
I like that. I'm just reading out the villains now because it's so complicated, right?
Yeah,
Um,
please explain this to me like I'm 5.
okay. I had to, read through this one like a little bit extra, but it's easier than Captain America, I think.
Okay.
But it's one scheme, 2 attack, set up, find finesse, and attach it to Spider Woman. It says the enemy team, but I don't think that makes any difference in like solo or whatever. She's just gonna have finesse attached, and this is an attachment. Well, let me read out the rest of Spider Woman, I guess. Forced interrupt. When she attacks, she gets +1 attack for each skill counter on finesse for this attack. Then you
Ooh.
remove all the skill counters. So what finesse does for her, each skill point is like building up her attack stat, but then it resets. So she's going to build up to strong attacks. Then when she does attack, it's going to go down again. And finesse has a maximum of 3 skill counters available. And when a treachery is revealed, place a skill counter here. So she attacks you, whatever. Then encounter card sort of step of the villain phase happens. And you reveal a treachery, puts a skill counter there. Next time she attacks, instead of attacking for 2, she's attacking for 3 and removing that counter. But if you happen to get something like that surges, or you decked out, you got multiple encounter cards, and even some of her own cards add on extra counters, suddenly she could be attacking for 4 or 5, and especially in multiplayer where you're getting multiple treachery stacking it up. So it's going to vary how much she attacks you for, but you are going to be able to see it on finesse, but then it's still boost card randomness. But that's kind of the gist of her. Building up her basic attack by revealing treacheries.
Which is pretty intense because she starts with 2.
Yeah. And this is like if there's an expert mode, which presumably there is, I assume she goes to 2 attack, 2 scheme, but then maybe final stage 3 attack, 2 scheme. That would be like the standard that we observe. But regardless, yeah, you could do some stuff with this. I think it's quite interesting. I think you're gonna like the encounter cards here. I won't go ahead, but there's she's gonna be able to get some skill counters.
Okay.
Definitely perfect defense, or I don't see ally blocking being punished here either. So but you don't want to take these attacks head on. It's kind of the gist of the what I'm
Okay.
getting here.
Okay. Fan, just tuned in. You're confused.
Oh, if you just joined now.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I think the main takeaway is that there's a lot of nuanced language with like leaders and like all of these different teams, and a lot of that is for a PvP mode, which is completely optional. All of these are just standard villains that you can fight. Leader is synonymous with villain, and so we get 4 new villains, 16 new modular sets, which is insane. So.
Yep. If you've just tuned in, this is going to be rough, but
Yeah.
it is like Nelson says. we see leader on the top left of the Spider-Woman card. It means villain, and it's a whole scenario, and we can fight them, Avenger to Avenger, or X-Men to Avenger, whatever Kira, you want to play, which is really kind of fun to think about, actually.
Yeah, and I think it is going to be similar to Trickster Takeover, where it is the article and the cards are more confusing than it will be in practice.
Yes, I had this thought when I read through it first earlier, because if you tuned in halfway, I already read this before Nelson Cena. Um, uh, I think in practice, you see it all play bit to bit. Like all the cards talk to each other, and it will all make sense as you read it bit to bit. But following, like, I don't know, I'm just gonna say 50 cards in one article with lots of new words. It's going to be more confusing than doing it step by step, card by card, within the framework of the game.
Yep. Yep. So we saw Finesse. Her next attack, based on the number of counters it has, as you might expect, she has some nasty treacheries to go with it, such as pheromones. If this is not the most OP, stupid card that a villain has ever had, I mean,
I don't want it to hit me. I'll tell you that much.
does it stun and confuse you?
Oh yeah.
When revealed, you are stunned and confused, and you have to place a counter on Finesse. Oh my gosh.
You see, and check the boost.
Brutal.
It does a boost effect.
Wow. And you are
Stunned
stunned on
goof.
boost. Otherwise, you are confused. Ooh.
Yeah, so if you're already stunned, you can't get around it. Like they've got you on some of these effects that are gonna hurt you no matter what. So steady and stalwart on the player side is gaining a lot of value. It feels like with a lot of these mod
Yep.
sets, and this quote unquote villain, this leader. But yeah, as soon as I saw the word pheromones, I was like, oh no, it did exactly what I thought it was.
That's tough. Oh.
Maria's fine.
Maria's fine. Yeah. I mean, that's just like that's just, you can just play that on repeat and it'll be fine. Or inconspicuous, which
I like
is
this
when
one.
revealed. Then tell me about it if you love it.
Well, I don't know if I love it, but I like that it gives you a choice, because when revealed, choose. I thought being a threat removal card on the hero side, it'd just make her scheme. And one of the options is the scheme. The other option is to discard the highest cost card you control. Neither of these are good, but I like that you get to choose between them. It's like, do you want this bad or this bad? And for different times, different characters will pick different things. I think I prefer them scheming, but not if I'm going to lose the game. Like, I'm at risk of that. It's like, okay, Avengers Mansion, Helicarrier, see you later. So you have a choice there. And I like that it's not just they scheme. So there's that. And it's a boost. It gains a boost icon for each status card on your identity. We haven't seen like reactive boost icons like that very often, like not for status cards at all. So that's kind of exciting. They really feel like they're mechanically pushing the design space here.
Mm-hmm. And like you were just talking about steady. This overly punishes steady. If you are full stunned, now it's plus
Oh
2.
yeah, but each status card.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Colossus, it probably doesn't matter too much unless you're like scheming in hero form, but 2 tough status cards is also plus 2.
That's I'm just thinking, like, theoretically a steady character could have 2 stuns, 2 confuses on them, and if you're Colossus, 2 toughs. Can we get steady on Colossus? I don't think so.
You can.
Okay, so we
Because
can
he
have
has
5.
14. He is unshakable.
Oh, Unshakable. Yes, that's what I was thinking. Yep. So he could get a lot of boost icons here.
And then it runs into his tough. Or she's scheming and you lose the game.
Yep. Good luck forwarding that with Colossus.
Oh,
if you
geez.
don't lose
Okay.
immediately. Yeah.
I am liking Spider-Woman so far.
She's cool, right? I like this too. Like the pheromones, I think it might be. I'm stunned and confused, but like it's interesting. It's like what you kind of expect, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I like the next card too.
Alrighty, tell me about containment immunity.
It's hard to say, isn't it? Contaminant
is, yeah.
immunity. I always get this in containment strategy in protection
Mhm.
mixed up, but yeah, contaminant immunity. You attach it to Spider-Woman, +1 scheme, and when she'll be stunned or confused, discard this card instead. Give her a tough status card. So the only way to get
cool.
rid of this +1 scheme is to try and status her, but it blocks it, and then she's got a tough card. And it's a boost you reveal it. So it's got a lot going on here. It's
Yeah.
blocking status cards, but it then converts to a tough. But before that happens, it's a scheme boost. It's crazy.
What effective resource do you value a stunner confuse or like a status card at?
I mean, typically 2, but depending on the scenario and things, it could be like 2.5 or something. Or if it's like particularly weak villain, like it can like a tough can be worth a lot less if they're attacking for 1 and on average 1 boost icon. So it varies, but two effective resource feels pretty accurate.
Yeah. Ugh, brutal. Oh, okay. And on a boost, you reveal it. So if she is scheming, it is a +1 scheme.
Yep. That timing does work.
That timing does work. I think Chat was talking about how on a boost, Cap still gets the +2 with the Super Soldier Serum, just not the
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay. Is active boosting your scheme and preventing her from being confused. Finally, if you let her build up too many skill counters, then you'll have a tough time dealing with real amounts of damage thanks to her self-propelled glide, which is a forced interrupt. It is a side scheme. When Spider-Woman would take damage from an attack, reduce the amount of damage she takes by 1 for each skill counter on Finesse. Comes in at 3 per player and is acceleration token. Oh, that's cool.
It's really interesting, right? So if you get a lot of treacheries, more notably going to happen in multiplayer, she could take 3 less damage from every attack. And let's say we're at 4-player here, well, that's most likely. You have to remove 12 threat to get rid of it. So she kind of just armors up for like a round at least. Kind of interesting, but it could technically be 0. It could be 1, so it doesn't have to be bad. But yeah, this is one of the cards. You know when we looked at that card early on that said everyone, I think it was the second main scheme on the resistance side. Everyone gets a side scheme. This one would scare me if I had that main scheme with Spider-Woman, and now there's like a 12 threat and 4-player self-propelled glide that's blocking damage. I would be sad.
When she attacks, she gets +1. I'm just like rereading Spider-Woman. I'm taking in a lot of information. My brain hurts.
They're quite mechanical, but like I mean, it all makes sense. It's kind of how she works, right? The different aspect cards she gets, she boosts up her stats. Here it's the treacheries boost up her stats. I do like how they've done it.
Yeah. I think it's really good. But we are removing each skill counter. Dude,
when
she's gonna build so fast in multiplayer. Oh,
yeah, that's what's scary. But they should all go with the first attack in the villain phase, so it won't be like every attack gets that boost. So there is some, you can play around it. I also want to point out quickly, I noticed this second time I looked at it. Spider-Woman's hand. I want you to look at the hand on the Rogue art and the Phoenix art, because that looks like the same artist and hand to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Hold on, the Rogue hero. Yeah. Pull it up.
Am I correct?
Yeah, it does.
I think it's the same artist. They like this hand. I like the art though. Like the art on it looks fine. It just reminds me so much. Look at it.
That's really funny. I do like this art. I like how the energy is kind of coming over the text box up here at the top. I think that's a cool touch. I like it when they do that.
I think the colors pop, and because the background's faded, like the character stands out. I think it's very nice. I personally like it. I bet some people don't, but I quite like it.
Nice. She is a former spy for S.H.I.E.L.D. After all, she's going to get skilled at navigating dangerous situations. So rounding out the resistance in the rest of Spider-Woman's pre-constructed scenario, we have her fellow wall crawler, Spider-Man. I don't think I read out the comment from chat, but I want to reiterate it. I don't recall who said it, so I'm sorry. But they were like, even in minion form, he's not a web warrior.
That's so funny.
That was really funny. If whoever said that, good one. But okay, so we got Spider-Man. We've seen Spider-Man before. You got the tangled up and everything, and we do have that now. So what does tangled up do for us?
So tangled up says attach to your leader, otherwise attach to your hero. So in cooperative mode, this is just going to go onto your hero, and when attached character would scheme, thwart, or attack, discard this card instead. It's a bit like webbed up, but it can block thwarting, and it doesn't put on the stun card afterwards. So it just blocks one, basically thwart or attack instance as far as cooperative mode is concerned. And as a boost, if Spider-Man minion is in play, you reveal this. So if he's sitting there waiting, he'll web you up.
Interesting. Okay. Minion is in play. Reveal this card. Okay. So okay, now this feels so teasing to what I think the next section is gonna be, because it's attached to your Leader? It's like I don't even know what
Mm-hmm.
that means. So I'm just like kind of itching to get to that at this point. So Tangled Up, when the attached character would scheme, thwart, or attack, discard this card instead. Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So Tangled Up is a little bit worse than Webbed Up.
But it can stop thwarting, which is the difference, which is kind of interesting.
True.
So it's like a pseudo. It's basically can be it's a stun and confuse at the same time. But doing either gets rid of the entire thing.
Yep.
That's how I would see it.
And it is. Oh yeah, and it's a. It also blocks events and everything, so it's not just
Yeah.
gonna be the basic. Got it.
Yep. Yes.
It's also teaming up with Spider Woman are Luke Cage. Luke Cage is a 1/2/4. When revealed, stun your leader. Otherwise, you are stunned.
Yep.
Okay.
So a normal cooperative, like regular Marvel Champions play, you're just gonna eat that stun. It's gonna be for you.
Yep. Then as a boost, you're going to stun your leader. Otherwise, you are stunned. And then if you resolve the thing where it's like resolve all the boost effects, there's
There you
another
go.
one.
Yep.
Oh, ouch.
I was
Okay.
surprised he was 4 hit points and didn't have a tough. Like when I think of Luke
Me
Cage,
too. Yeah.
the ally version of Luke Cage is stronger than the minion version. It's normally always the other way around. Minions are normally stronger than allies. You have to pay out big for like an ally with 4 or 5 health. But yeah, that was a weird thing for me. That struck me specifically as how some of the design here, what they might have done for the character otherwise, might have been warped or changed slightly for maybe like competitive balance, if you see what I mean, right? Because to me, there's no way he should not have a tough card or be like 5 or 6 health. That's just my take on it. I think he should,
Yeah.
be very hard to get through. But nonetheless, it's kind of cool to see Luke Cage here. In the game as a minion before a hero. his ally's been in the game since the core set.
Yep.
And I think he's on the power protection art.
Oh yeah, that is true. The initial or the original power protection. Yep.
Yeah, he's on some of the Avenger card art as well. I want the defenders.
Speaking of defenders, we do have Jessica Jones as well. I want defenders. I want defenders in this game. I like the defenders a lot.
Have them as minions right now.
There you go. Perfect. That's all.
In September.
What does Jessica Jones do?
Jessica Jones, despite I believe her superpower being super strength, she has 1 attack, 2 scheme, 3 hit points, and when revealed, she confuses your leader. Ooh, whatever could that mean? Otherwise, you are confused. So in normal mode, you are confused, and the boost is exactly the same. Confuses you, or your leader in maybe a different mode. Yeah.
So Spider-Man has his own encounter set with the Defenders, 2 members of the Defenders, and like you said, I think every single one of these modular sets that we've seen is 5 cards.
Yes.
Right? Like each
correct.
one. Okay, cool. Defenders, each minion gains guard. That at least sounds like a defender.
Okay. Talk to me here. Hear me out. Look at the art. There are 4 characters on there. Are we getting Daredevil the minion before Daredevil the hero?
1,000%, yes.
Is this just 4 minions in this card?
Champion says, look at the flavor text. The Defenders were formed to protect people, often overlooked by the Avengers. Ooh, shade. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do you think it's going to be these 4 minions in this side scheme as the mod set?
Wouldn't it be shocking if we got 3 minions, like Iron Fist as well here, and they just excluded Daredevil again? like because Caleb, who I presume designed all of this, absolutely knows we want Daredevil.
Yep.
It's got to be all 4 of them, right? That would be really, really cool, in my opinion. I'd be very happy to see them, even if we have to like beat them up.
Yeah, it'd be a really cool mod set to just throw into anything, though, too. Just have them.
I like the idea of these mod sets which have like heroic characters. If I play like Magneto or Nebula, who are like typically villains, you can kind of make it work, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. You kind of like play the bad guy unofficially that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to do this? You ready to talk about the biggest part of the article so far?
The craziest part, yeah. I'm excited for this. I've got my trash talk ready as well.
Alrighty, hero versus hero. This is insane. Whatever's going on right here. Okay.
Do you want me to talk you through, or do you want to just go?
Just talk me through it, villain. Because
I'll give you the basics.
Okay, let's do it.
This is showing us two versus two, player versus player. I don't know if you can actually like zoom out slightly. I don't know if you can like at all, but
I think I
see the
have.
whole thing.
Which one do we need?
Can you zoom it out at all? You see the
Oh,
whole
wrong
thing.
button.
It's like control and scroll that wheel
Yeah,
down if
yeah.
that helps you. Oh, that's what you're doing. Maybe we can't get the whole thing on screen here. There we go. There we go. So what it's showing here is two heroes against two heroes. That's why there's two heroes at the bottom, two heroes at the top, just to clarify any confusion. Each team has a leader, each team has a main scheme, and each team has a side scheme called choosing sides. Then each respective player has their own deck like normal, and the enemy, each respective leader has their encounter deck as well here. So it's like basically however many players you can do 1v1 or 2v2, but each team will have a leader working alongside them. You're kind of teaming up with them, and that's kind of the kind of basic structure, if that makes sense.
It does. Okay.
Don't
So
ask me how the whole thing works. I don't think the whole details are here.
yeah.
But we can make some educated guesses that like player one takes a turn, player two takes their turn, then maybe your leader takes their turn against the enemy as well. But yeah, it looks crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I assume it's effectively like a race. Like we're trying to beat their leader before they beat our leader.
There are, I think, 3 win/loss conditions, but
That's cool.
I think the primary one is going to be defeat that leader. Do you want me to
Okay.
go through what they are?
Yeah.
I think if the main scheme against you is completed, you lose, so the other team wins. I think if all your identities are knocked out from damage, you lose. And if your leader is knocked out, you lose. But I think as long as you fought, as long as you have like decent defense, like the main thing the enemy team I think can affect. I don't think it explicitly says, but I assume you can't have a hero attack a hero. I think a hero has to attack the leader.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That
That's
would
what
make sense.
I gather. But we can read through
Yeah.
it a bit. It's going to say more. It's going to show you some extra spicy stuff.
Okay.
There's an extra set we haven't seen yet for this, and all sorts of. It's just exciting, right? I definitely want to fight you.
So okay. Do we know anything about like zones? Is this like Kang where I can't necessarily affect things on your side of the board and you can't affect things on my side of the board? I just want to like use Storm to throw a threat from my scheme to your scheme. Like
as far as I know, that's possible. It hasn't said like we can read it here, but I think you can do that. I
oh,
think
that's sick.
I don't see why you can interact with the your leader as a character. Maybe you can heal your leader or something. Maybe that's a strategy. I don't know. Uh, totally possible while you're attacking the enemy leader.
Then there are like if you're playing Strange, like you can do like his invocation deck where you can swap status
Oh,
cards. So if they've stunned your leader, you can swap it into a tough. Because Strange needed to get a little bit stronger, I think.
if you're fighting Captain America and he's got a tough from his shield, you could turn that into a stun. You'd like
That's cool.
reverse it that way.
That's cool. Okay. Okay. I think just initially I'm a little bit more excited about this than I thought I would be. I was not excited for a PvP, but this feels more like a PvP than that I'm excited for. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think this is going to be wildly unbalanced based on heroes.
Sure.
I think
Sure.
but it's fun and it looks interesting, and they've got some. I'm excited for you to read through the rest of how this works.
Yeah. Alrighty. So this mode can either be played 1v1 or 2v2 with the player splitting up between team registration and team resistance. Each team chooses a leader to represent them, building that leader scenario with whatever main scheme and modular sets they want. So long as the modular sets match to the team. Okay, never mind. I was like,
Yes.
I'm gonna Cree Fanatic. We're gonna go with Thunderbolt. GG. Okay. Registration or resistance.
We should do a battle where we break that rule and we can put any mod set in we like and see who wins.
Oh, there's some. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Okay. Instead of using the standard encounter set, you'll use the new standard PvP set. That's spicy.
That's what I wanted you to see.
Yeah, which we will discuss below. Once each team has built their scenario, they swap scenarios with the other team. This means that the resistance players will face off against the registration team scenario and vice versa. I'm curious if you get to know what heroes they are playing first, or if that is you choose heroes after you see what you're going up against.
I didn't think about that, but you're already gone tactical. This is where you play more TCGs than me, more
Yeah,
like
right.
Screw and stuff. You're like, what information do I have at hand to destroy them? Now I'm worried.
Yeah. Okay, okay. So there are two copies of the standard PvP set included in Civil War, one for each team. These cards function similarly to the regular standard set while also providing opportunities to interact with the opposing team as you race to take down their leader before they can defeat yours. Got it. So for example, Righteous Cause works a bit like Advance. So, okay.
Hmm.
My question was going to be: are you going to have this both in the uh, resistance and um, registration? And it does look like it because here's the registration and here's the resistance version of it. So we
Yeah.
do get both colors. So it does sound like we're getting both. So when revealed, the enemy leader schemes. If there's more than one player on your team, give the enemy leader an additional boost card for this activation. I like that. I like that a lot. That's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of like a cool little scaling effect. It kind of reminds me of the hinder. If there's, if you're solo, it's just 0, but then the main scheme's coming with 4. In this case, if there's more than one, there's this little extra thing here. And yeah, I mean, this makes sense to me. It's advanced. That might be a slightly more powerful advance with more people.
Yeah. Okay. Chad is saying so the official setup steps is to select identities, then scenario.
Okay, cool. That's probably in here somewhere, and I
Yeah.
missed it.
Works a bit like Advance, giving the enemy leader an extra scheme, while whatever it takes the place of Assault. This is this is hilarious art. Captain Marvel just flying alongside some like fighter jets. All right, so when revealed, the enemy leader attacks your lead. Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
So when revealed in Alter Ego, the enemy leader attacks your leader. Fascinating.
I like that. I really like that you're like setting these different things outside your control almost against each other, and you're watching it happen. Again, it kind of makes the game feel alive to me that these different things are happening in the world, even it's kind of beside my character in this mode. I think it's very cool. And like your hero's not there to attack, so they go for the other target. And presumably, you can maybe defend the leader. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but maybe have to be a rule thing. But it'd be cool if I could I use my ally, or this other player can I'll step in. I'm not sure though, but that would be very interactive. But maybe it's too powerful, so I don't know.
Yeah. Champion Mel just said in chat, like if you're going up against Spider-Woman or even Captain Marvel, like this is even worse because they could attack for 6.
Captain America can get this face down boost and the overkill, this serum, and it won't go away because it's not against your hero, right? Like for the response text, so he's just gonna hit hard.
Fascinating. Okay, so whatever it takes works a bit like a van. It takes the place of Assault. When targeted strike is revealed, your opponents get to search the top 5 cards of your encounter deck and choose which new threat to hit you.
I love this
team
idea.
Searches the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. Oh, that's so mean.
So if this came up for you, I'd be like, let me have a look, and I'll just give you the worst one for your situation I could possibly find, and I will laugh maniacally as I do so.
Oh my gosh.
This is like my favorite one from this set.
Oh yeah, no, this is fascinating. This is so good because you can also it's also going to change based on where the current game state is at, right? So if you have 1 health, I'm pulling an Assault, right?
Yeah. Or if the main scheme is about to go over,
it's
like here's Righteous Cause. Oh, there's 2 of you. Have an extra boost card. Enjoy that main scheme going over. Something like that. And you can get to choose which mod set's going because you kind of build it first, right? So you can have different choices depending on what mod sets you put in as well. It's going to open up your options. So I like this. I like the idea that player 1 got a minion with a boost effect, and then I can get that card that triggers the boost effects of minions. That when we looked at that treachery, and do something crazy like that. So yeah, I love this thing. I kind of wish I could have this thing in cooperative play, but obviously, that would not work, right? But maybe it's a friendly option. You have to give another player, but that would require multiplayer. But I'd love to be able to choose what my buddy gets, and depending on my mood, I'll probably be nice. But there's that one time I'll give them Shadow of the Past. But yeah, competitively, this card is
my
awesome.
mind is going, as they would say, a mile a minute.
This has been a real article for you, hasn't it? I've had a lot more time to process.
Yeah. Jonathan asking if this is a PvP set. The PvP is, I think the way that I'm going to describe this is that the PvP mechanic is the like campaign mechanic in this set. So it is completely optional to play,
Yeah.
just like the missions in Age of Apocalypse are absolutely optional to play. The PvP is completely optional, and it's coming with, what was it, 4 villains, which are heroes, and then 16 encounter sets.
Yeah.
So, and it can be fully played cooperatively as well.
Yeah. I figure like, I don't know, maybe like 15, 20 cards are going to be reserved for competitive mode to make that work, like these standard sets, and then there's like maybe a little bit extra. But for the most part, the majority of the box, how many cards you get in a box? Like 200, 300?
Yeah.
They're all going to be fully solo playable. And I mean, just to reiterate, Nelson, like, I thought these villains looked really interesting and interactive. Like,
Yeah.
it looks good. Like, I'm going to enjoy playing these cooperatively in like normal gameplay. So the PvP mode I do think is interesting, but I'm excited anyway, just normal play.
Yeah. Yeah. And Silver Dragon, 2 heroes are coming in the box as well. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, we're gonna. There's a little bit of detail on them, but
Okay.
just to temper expectations, you're not gonna get to see like actual
Good.
cards and things.
I don't know
This is
if
a long
my,
article already.
yeah, I was like, I don't know if my brain and excitement level could handle it anymore. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to think about targeted strike when I lay down after this stream.
When I saw targeted strike, I was like, "Isn't that a War Machine card?" And then it was that.
Oh, also, who just said it? Hold on, I'm gonna find it.
I see something I like from chat. Someone, Blazing Glory
Yeah, what's
says,
up?
"Does the leader count for a team up?" I don't know. I don't think so. I think the wording has to be ally or hero, because I think I've wondered if I have Gamora and the Nebula villain, will it work? And I checked the wording in the rules, and it's specific to certain character types. But that would be cool if it did. I hope they make it work that way. If it's on your side in PvP mode.
Okay, I can't find it in chat, but someone was talking about like using like Bucky, Winter Soldier with Captain America as your leader, but like it just like that unlocks a whole nother way to kind of approach the PvP, is to build thematic like scenarios
That'd
and
be so
decks and
fun.
stuff. That would be a lot of fun. Okay, cool. Finally, each team begins a game with a copy of Choosing Sides in play. This is that side scheme. It's a permanent side scheme. The enemy leader cannot take more than 2 damage from each attack. Wild. Okay.
It's just going to protect you a bit from, we're talking about Spider-Woman with all the finesse counters attacking your leader,
Yeah.
that, what was it? The whatever it takes card. This is a bit of protection about that. While it's here, because it's a side scheme, it can be defeated.
Okay. So after the last threat is removed from here, the enemy team searches the top 5 cards of the encounter deck for one encounter card per player. Is that 4 or is that 2?
So if there's 4 players, I believe it's 1 card per player, if that makes sense. And if it's in a 2v2, I gotta read this again.
It deals 1 to each player as a face down, so I think it's just 2. I think the player icon is only your team.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Imagine giving them 2 encounter cards, but
Yeah.
no, I think that's right.
Okay.
I can't imagine it wouldn't be. And if it is, it's gonna get crazy.
And then you flip that card, probably to now it's personal.
Yep, but you're not gonna expect what it is.
Okay, it's an obligation. I was not expecting that.
See?
You give it to the first player. As an action, you can remove this card from the game. Cool. That's fun. Right?
Yep.
Each player in your team chooses 2 of your leader's set-aside player cards. What? Player cards, and adds them to their hand.
So if you're on the resistance side, you would be, if we go back to choosing side, you're fighting against that registration side scheme. And when you defeat that bad side scheme, it becomes a friendly obligation kind of thing. And you can choose to get your leader, your buddies, some cards from them to help you out.
What are set-aside player cards for your leader?
You're going to see them. You're going to see a couple. It's going to make sense for the most part. But you defeat bad side scheme, you get good obligation, which you can trigger for bonus. That's kind of the gist of this.
Okay, yeah. So one of them is Futurist, which I assume is an Iron Man leader. Yep.
Yes.
You could use the Futurist, which is a 2-cost event
Hmm.
basic Iron Man. Your Iron Man leader schemes. Do not give him a boost card for this activation. Okay. So if he has a ton of tech, he could scheme for like
Yeah.
3. Cool. Okay, I like that.
Hmm. It's
Do
almost
we
like
see more of
reverse for
these?
justice, right? Because like you're putting, I don't know, if you got full attachments on there, I guess he's got 4 forwarding for scheme, so he's gonna put 4 onto the enemy scheme.
Yeah.
So I guess you tactically time it. You know, if you know this is set aside as one of the player cards, maybe if the enemy's full threat from the main scheme going over, you're like, I'm gonna trigger this right now.
Yep. Yep.
I
Interesting.
love the
It
next
is.
one as well.
It is a basic, so Power and all of us finally got a boost. Uh,
True. Wow. Powering all of us in hand. I'm going to trigger that obligation, get this card to help me out, and then spend it for cheap. Yeah.
you can draw on Captain Marvel's raw power.
I
What is
love this.
this?
I love it.
Oh, that's
It's
sick
got awesome
art.
art. Yeah, exactly. All the Captain Marvel art in this seems really good. It's double wild as a resource card, so it's vibranium. Okay. After you spend this resource, place 2 energy counters on your Captain Marvel's leader's energy channel attachment. I'm playing the Beast X-Men ally with this to get this back in my hand. I'm going to stack up my Captain Marvel. She's going to go crazy. She's going to go absolutely crazy. But just as a general card, 2 extra resources in hand, and Captain Marvel's, she's going to overkill attack somebody. I really think that's very good.
Yeah, that's really good. Also, Domino. This is 4. If you discard
Oh,
this card from the
yeah.
top of your deck, because you're double counting the wilds,
Mm.
and so
I always get confused with the ownership rules. Like, but I think when a scenario gives you something, it's in your deck for that scenario, right? So
yeah.
it goes into the discard pile. So
Or you could
you
just
could
swap it,
totally,
right?
yeah, she can swap it wherever. Of course she
Yeah.
can. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot, and it feels cool. Like, because the art is cool. It's like, how about this? And boom, suddenly Captain Marvel powers up, and
Dude, that's so wild.
I really like it.
Oh, that was a pun. Look at me go. Um, because it's the wild icons. Interesting.
Yeah,
Very cool. Okay. Raw power is the double resource card while also boosting up her energy counters. That feels better than the futurist to me.
yeah. I think raw power is just so good. I was just
Yeah,
thinking about
raw
the
power.
implications of domino. You probably said it, but because I was thinking about all sorts of stuff. Getting 2 wilds on the top of your deck is domino. That's actually 4 wilds when you discard it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, so her pistol
Um,
is going to hit for 4.
yeah, and then you pull jackpot on the same like for your sharpshooter first, right? And then you hit for
Yep.
7.
Yep. Exactly.
Absurd.
Oh, okay. It's a double resource while also boosting energy counters on the resistance side. Okay, cool. We get more. Sick. Okay, so
Oh
Captain
yes, 2 more.
American leader can tank a hit for a teammate with no you move.
I love the name. No, you move.
0 cost upgrade. Forced interrupt. So forced, you have to use this.
That's
When
weird,
the
isn't it? But you get to choose to play it.
yeah,
But you would
yeah,
obviously probably play it, or you could spend it as
right.
a wild, I guess.
When the enemy leader would attack you, attach Cap Shield to your Captain America leader, and then resolve this attack against him instead. Discard this card. So he's gonna get the tough. So it prevents an attack.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. It's basically it, and it will retaliate as well because he's got the shield retaliate. So
Oh shoot, yeah. Nice.
and because it resists piercing, like it's a guarantee. There's like no way for it. No overkill, no piercing, no shenanigans allowed.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this one's really good. A 0 cost attack stop is. I just feel like the futurist is looking like the worst one of these.
Yeah, yeah. Like I've been way more I've been way happier with the second 2, or the second and third
Mm,
one that we've seen. The futurist, I think, like, I mean, that scheme is just brutal, right? If you just go, okay, you have 4 more threat in your scheme, that's pretty mean.
but
But
you're having to pay a
still,
2 cost thing for it, which is
that's
about what
true.
they might have to pay to remove it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not like it's tactical if you can like knock it over to the next stage, maybe end the
Mhm.
game. But otherwise, I feel like I don't know, just getting more value per point for these other ones. I can't remember. I do remember what the last one does. Okay. And
Okay.
there's one more to go as well.
Spider Woman can use her status as a double agent. Tell me what this is. I don't love
Double
this art.
Agent. Yeah, the art's a little bit. I don't know. It's fine. It's a 2 cost event, and as an action, you can remove 2 threat from the main scheme and place 2 threat on your leader's main scheme. And remember, on the player versus player mode, that's like the one, you're trying to progress, I think. That they're trying to take threat off.
Yes.
So you take threat, you just swap it around. It's kind of like the Storm thing you said about moving threat, right? And I think
Hmm.
if this card can do it as a player card, I don't see why Storm couldn't do it either. So you're absolutely gonna love that. But yeah, 2 cost event, kind of like Futurist, and it's 4 threat, but this way it's kind of moving 2 and then adding 2 as opposed to adding potentially 4 with the right timing. But I still think I prefer it to Futurist, but definitely an
Hmm.
interesting little way there. It feels very PvP-ish because you're turning something against the enemy that was the other way around.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's interesting. I like I'm sorry, half of my brain is just thinking of combos for this PvP thing. Like I'm just like trying to like build teams. It feels like a Twin Suns almost. Like you pick 2 leaders, you're building decks, and then you're like it's just kind of fun. Ooh, yeah, recur this with Miss Marvel. No,
Yeah,
Miss
that's
Marvel, it's not a
interesting.
thwart, it's not a
Oh
thwart
no.
though.
But I believe the Miss
Novas.
Marvel ally, the Nova's signature
Yeah.
ally, break the game, take any kind of event and bounce it back. That's what I
Heck
believe
yeah.
it does. Yeah, why not?
Okay, so yeah, so the futurist, if you're playing Nova, if you yeah, you just double futurist and you can like if he has 4
That's
scheme, it's
fun.
8.
Now the future suddenly looks like the best one. Because you could ready up the Miss Marvel ally with some crazy shenanigans that I have definitely partaken in. Um, you boost her health or go for champions means she can't take damage. There's some shenanigans with the rules. It's a little weird.
Oh
Especially
yeah,
the
you
errata
just
version. But you
we're
can,
playing the futurist 4 times, we win the game.
yeah, you can use a new resource reserve card to stack up money for her. Can you do that maybe? Or I can't remember which way around it goes. But anyway, there's going to be strategies with this, and I like it.
Dang. Okay. The battle continues until only one team remains. A team is eliminated when their leader is defeated. You've already said this, but just as a recap, their leader
Yeah,
is
make
defeated.
sure I'm accurate.
Yeah. They let the enemy main scheme complete stage 2B, or all their team identities are defeated. Okay. I like it.
And then it says, "How will you fight for your team's ideals?" And
Yeah.
there's a lot of strategies here, a lot of crazy things. I think that Storm ally you mentioned early on. Imagine if you set that up, the enemy can't target it, and suddenly you like chain ready it or something. Their main scheme goes pop. Like there's gonna be weird little things aside from regular play.
Yeah. I do. Yeah. I think like just to kind of have an understanding, this is going to be wildly unbalanced. Like
Oh yeah.
we're going to have 65 heroes. They're not going to like there's going to be wild crazy things that happen. And like the Storm interaction, the Miss Marvel interaction, there's going to be a lot. And so like I think like you almost like I think I've not played Commander, but I believe that when you play like Commander and Magic, you like kind of sit down and say like this is a certain tier deck, and that's kind of the game that we are playing. So if you don't want someone to show up with Hulk and She-Hulk and like, yeah, well, actually, that may not be bad because you just rush it. That actually may be pretty good.
Well, you can only do 2 damage at a time until that side scheme has gone from the villain, right? So good luck with
True.
Hulk and She-Hulk getting rid of that.
Yeah,
Let's you can
very
do some
fair.
instances of 2 damage, um, which sounds a bit like X-23. If you can
Yeah.
keep readying and do 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage, ignore that side scheme and just maybe there's something there. I don't know. It's
Hmm.
gonna be fun to play around with for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit worried if like one team has like 2 really like very strong, very quick off the mark heroes that can deal with all the threat. Burst through that side scheme, and then I don't know. I'm thinking Cable here. Burst through the side scheme, and then drop a telekinetic blast, or whatever it's called, and deal like I don't know, 10 damage. There's gonna be strategies. It's gonna be
Hmm.
fun. I think we could
I
do like
think,
thematic fights as well as just
yeah.
mechanical.
The other thing that you could do if you are taking this to like a game group or if you're taking this to friends who don't play Marvel Champions, you can build balanced decks. Like you can build 4 of them
Mm,
and just show up, right?
yeah.
So like you can kind of balance in that sense and build those thematic decks and everything like that. I'm kind of looking at this like I think this will be fun. I don't think that this is going to I'm not going to play this more than 3% of the times I play Marvel Champions. It's just not going to be like a very heavily influenced way that I play, just like the campaign mechanics. And I'm looking at this, it's like this is a cool addition to a box that I'm already thrilled about.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to look at it. It's kind of, in Shadowcast when Caleb said, the campaign can kind of be seen almost like as a bonus. I mean, some people it's like the main way they play, but you can play for like 5 standalone scenarios without the campaign mode at all. And that's what I think me and you like to do most. It's gonna be the same here. I've got 4 ultra customizable scenarios, and if occasionally we want to engage in some absolutely crazy shenanigans here, we totally can. I'm already thinking I want to break the rules that set out for this and make it crazy. Like we said, try any mod sets and just see who wins with that going on. I feel like there's some wild stuff to be done here. How much can we break the game fighting each other? But then maybe we could do a really restricted thing where maybe we both use the same hero and same deck to fight each other, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like a mirror match with different villains and stuff. But it'd be a lot fairer, I think. Even
Yeah.
so.
I think like one of the other interesting balance things that I'm kind of thinking around, right? Like it feels like if you can rush the villain, that feels fairly good.
Mhm. But the side scheme prevents the like traditional rush.
It does for a little bit. For a little bit,
Mhm.
I do think I would push through that fairly quickly. However, the box seems to like wildly combat chump blocking, which I
Mhm.
think is a pretty. It's not necessarily like for some of the heroes like Hulk and everything, but like I feel like the build out characters. I don't know if they're going to be as heavily penalized as I initially thought they were, because if you're doing like a protection build, you can protect and you can do that because there's so much penalties for chump blocking in the box.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm really curious if you can defend your leader. That would be really something that I'm curious about.
I hope so.
I think you can heal them.
Yeah.
Like some could say you heal a character.
Yep.
Night Knights I think says a hero. But Med Team I think says a character.
Yeah. So much cool stuff. Okay.
I've just been thinking about what if we had Deadpool as one of the heroes we picked, and Deadpool doing Deadpool shenanigans here. I think that would be insane.
Yikes. Very cool. Alrighty, so as we mentioned earlier, today's preview focused on the scenario content. In the coming weeks, we'll also preview the 2 heroes that come in the box, Hulkling and Tigra. Am I Hulkling? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Hulkling, I think, is correct. I'm curious, chat. Is it Tigra or Tigra? Because I feel like I've heard both. Just in like talking about the ally on different channels and things. But yeah, he looks like he should be Gamma. He's green. He's called Hulkling. Why is he not Gamma? Is that true?
Friendly Computer says it's Tigra.
We've already got Tigra and Tigra now. And Tigra. Guys.
Tigra.
It looks like Tigra is winning. That makes so much sense because it's a tiger. Tiger theme.
Tiger, yeah.
Tugra. That's the one. What did I start here?
It's like Tortuga. She's from the island of Tortuga. That's why.
From now on, we'll call her Tortuga.
Tigra team. Okay, hold on. We'll just get a poll. Oh gosh, I've left this other poll up for a while.
That poll would still be going tomorrow if you didn't catch it now.
Is it Tigra or Tigra?
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm spelling that out correctly phonetically, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Blazing Glory says.
Oh yeah, sorry. What's up?
I'm interacting with chat here.
I'm sorry.
Blazing Glory says Hulkling is half Kree, half Skrull, which sounds crazy, but would explain the shape shifting kind of stuff that we will kind of get a hint about here.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I need to go lay down in a dark room.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay. So Hulkling comes with a pre-built protection deck. Love it. And his playstyles revolves around his ability to shapeshift into different forms, altering his status and abilities to suit his needs. It feels like a spectrum thing, right?
It feels kind of like it. And my head went to like Mystique or Morph as a character, but obviously it's Hulkling. But I'm wondering if it's going to be more dramatic than energy forms. Like shapeshift to me feels like a whole change, maybe a different ability rather than just different stats. Does that make sense? That's what I'm imagining in my head.
Yeah.
Like, on the picture, he's got wings, so presumably one of them's going to be aerial.
Oh, that's cool. That would be really cool. So is he kind of like Who's
I
the
gotta tell you,
guy
I don't
from
know
Teen
anything
Titans?
about him.
Yeah. Who's the guy from Teen Titans that always changes into all the animals?
Oh, the green guy that shapeshifts as
Yeah.
well. I don't remember. I'm not as much of a DC guy, but I know exactly who you mean.
Beast
Beast Boy.
Boy. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Marvel
Just
Beast Boy.
Marvel's version of Beast Boy. Okay. What does Tigra do?
Well, on the flip side, Tigra pounces in with a pre-built aggression deck, hunting down minions from the encounter deck and getting stronger based on the number of enemies engaged with her. And it does go on to say both these offer unique strengths and are powerful additions, and we'll learn more about them soon. But to me, hunting down minions from the encounter deck feels just like Mr. Bucky Barnes, Mr. Winter Soldier, because his alter ego support lets us search for a minion, and it kind of feels like when she says hunt them down, it could just be this card from the top, like most of the minion summoning we have, or search the top 10. But it feels like she'll have some control over it, and maybe some ways to manage it, because she gets stronger based on how many enemies are engaged with her. That sounds really dangerous and crazy to me. It feels a bit maybe like the Wolverine, with his upgrade out when he gets attacked. He gets draw cards. Could be something like that. Could be like Winter Soldier's new aspect card, aggression, man on the wall for soldiers. Again, that gets more powerful. Or the Bring It card. Feels like she's going to slot right into that archetype in aggression straight away.
Yeah. I think with all the minion summoning that we've gotten so far, it's gotten to be a really powerful archetype. And if you have a character built around it, like Thor's gotten incredibly powerful. And
He's a lot stronger.
It sounds like I mean, Bucky's really good as well. I'm really curious to see how this combos. Chat Villain, do you know if she would be soldier traded or no? Is she kind of like
I think there's absolutely no way she's. I don't know. Like, I've probably read less comics than you have on Avengers. I'm not sure. I've read a couple, but to me, I understand she's kind of like I don't know. She hangs around Avengers Mansion. She sometimes joins in with Avengers stuff, but I don't think she's got a soldier background to my knowledge. I'm curious. I can see she's got what to me looks almost like a Witcher amulet or something. Maybe like White Tigery. I'm not sure. But it's a tiger thing here. I don't know. Someone's gonna have to help in the comments. Yeah, someone says absolutely not a soldier. That would be crazy. But when we get that honorary soldier card drop, one day, it's not happening. That is not happening.
They printed cards like that in Lord of the Rings, though. So
really, I'm waiting for jetpacks so I can go aerial.
Yeah, there is a the custom mod set from this year. Arcana Heroes has a jetpack that can give your hero aerial.
That sounds fun. I think I've heard about that. Yeah, something like that would be very fun. But yeah, I don't expect Tigra to become a soldier in the near future. But definitely interesting with how she can interact with the minions in the deck. Definitely the minion summoning we have in all the aspects now. Gonna definitely give her decks in every aspect. But it definitely feels like if you're minion based and you want to engage a bunch of them, and you've got an aggression precon, you're probably leaning into that as your main kind of aspect. But we'll have to see how it goes. I feel like both of these sound pretty unique.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. Right, I'm always excited for more aggression, and I'm excited for more aggression cards. I think at this point, the aspect that I'm most excited to see new cards for is aggression.
Yeah, I mean, the protection one's always so good though. But yeah, I think so. I think aggression kind of maybe needs the most new stuff, I would say. But yeah, I'm going to put something out there. I feel like the less known the character is, the less pressure on the designer, the more kind of freedom they have to go a little bit crazy or experiment. So I'm kind of hoping to see some big swings here personally, because you don't want to mess up a Magneto or a Captain America, and I don't think you want to mess up these either. But I think you can push the boundaries a bit, which is what I'm looking forward to, hopefully. Nice. But there's still more to come, more hints to come here, and I'm excited to see what you think of this.
I'm pumped. Okay, so as for upcoming content, we mentioned that Civil War heralds the beginning of a bonus wave of Marvel Champions expansions. For starters, this box brings 4 customizable scenarios to the table with lots of main schemes, modular sets to provide a ton of possible combinations. But what if he told you there's a expansion on the way that will increase that even further? I would be very happy, Fantasy Flight Games. Uh,
You're in luck.
okay. For the first time since the core set, the first expansion after the big box this wave will actually be a scenario pack. Sick.
Scenario packs are back.
Woo!
They came back all of a sudden. We're gonna get back to back scenario pack, box expansion, scenario pack.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Will be a scenario pack. In Synthezoid Smackdown. Ugh.
What a name.
Yeah, say that 12 times fast. The battle between Registration and Resistance continues with 2 more customizable scenarios. That's cool. Featuring She-Hulk and Vision as leaders. I like it. I like that a lot.
This scenario pack really feels like an expansion on this expansion, if that makes sense.
Okay, so I have so many things going on in my mind. So I think that yes, I like that. I like it because one, now we're gonna get 2 more villains. It's gonna be like a normal scenario pack, but it can, if you are kind of leaning into and enjoying that PvP mode, you have way more ways to modify and customize that experience. Or if you don't like it, it's 2 new villains, and the scenario packs typically have big swings for villains. They're unique. They're fun.
She-Hulk's swinging for Vision in this picture here, so like they could definitely. She-Hulk as a hero has quite a crazy design, so I hope they do something impactful, and I think they will. And I think Vision feels like such. I don't know if he's got a big role in the story, but he feels like such a weird character to choose for this. But I mean, he's in the movie, I think, obviously. So I mean, maybe there's a tie in there. They're based on the comics, but if they can tie into a movie a little bit unofficially, why wouldn't they? But yeah, I like this. 2 new villains, basically, but 2 new options, and all these mod sets and registration and resistance stuff going to be working here. Going to expand what you get in the other thing. I'm excited for this a lot.
It looks really fascinating. I'm happy that we are getting that. We'll go over these 2 scenarios in a dedicated article on the pack on its own, so stay tuned. And of course, this wave means new hero packs. For this bonus wave, they keep calling it a bonus wave. Do you think it's just like they didn't have it in their like initial like product roadmap?
I think so. I think because this is kind of Caleb's swan song, he was leaving. This was kind of something he wanted to do. I think maybe they made room for it and adapted. Because I think it was in our podcast. I think it made the final edit. Caleb says somewhere he said it at least. Maybe it was actually on the podcast from the Spanish guys, the Thanos podcast, which is if you speak Spanish, definitely worth checking out. But I know he said that as the new designers were coming on, maybe it was kind of heroes. Maybe you've heard this. As new designers were he wasn't there. As new designers were coming on, he had some heroes to design. He brought them on and they kind of helped design or maybe mostly design those heroes, which is what I think this is. Because what you'll go to read in a second is it says there are 2 hero packs this wave only. So it's like a mini wave.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting.
So that's what I'm seeing here.
So share more about them at a later date. I am... Okay, so reading through this, when I was reading the PvP, I was kind of expecting them to release 4 heroes similar to what they did when they released Mutant Genesis, so that you could have 4 heroes to play PvP with. 4 new heroes. That's kind of what I was expecting. So it's fine.
I'm glad it isn't just heroes can attack other heroes and like you suddenly just rush some 9 HP character down in one turn. That would have been terrible. But I like the approach they've gone here. It will be wildly unbalanced, but I think looking at it as a bonus thing is fun. I'm curious here. Will you need the Civil War expansion to get this Symphozoid Smackdown kind of bonus? Because it feels like a real direct add-on as opposed to a standalone thing. But maybe it is standalone and they've got enough stuff in there to be able to play it with just this.
My guess is that you would not be able to play the PvP mode, but you could play them as villains.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't have the standard sets. I don't think they're
going
to reprint
PvP
all
set,
that.
yeah. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Cool.
Interesting. Okay. Who are these heroes, chat? Villain? Who do we see here?
I'm pretty sure I successfully guessed the one on the right. I think it's him. The one on the left, I had no idea about, but I have seen people talking, so I've got an idea who people think it is. No idea if it's true. I don't see it, but I don't know anything about that character. So the one, do you want to know the one I guessed that
yes.
I think I got right? The one on the right, I think is Hercules.
Okay.
That actually came up at the
So
start of the stream. Someone mentioned something about Hercules,
yeah.
but it looks like he's got some kind of headband thing on. I know he has a crown, and he's got this like funky like hair that sticks out. It feels very 80s somehow. Um, and I don't know. He's like one of the Olympian gods, and there's like the Olympics. He's got a trophy. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into that. I don't know where the trophy is coming from, but that's what I feel like it is. What
Yeah.
the chat think the other characters in is what I'm more
I've
interested in.
seen Wonder Man.
That's what I heard.
Okay. He's got some squared shoulders.
Oh yeah, those are some big shoulders.
Either that or that may be a shield on his back. Could that be like
Mm.
something that is on his back and like his shoulders are kind of like here, and because it's a silhouette, we just don't see the depth there.
It's not impossible, but they do kind of look like shoulders because you can kind of see like after the neck, it kind of rolls onto it like a body part to me.
Yeah. I
So
don't know.
I don't know if anatomy from comic art is like going to be an accurate thing to follow, but that's what I feel like it would be.
Ooh, the hills have nerds. What's up? They think he's sitting in a chair. I see that. I see that. Once you say it, I can see it now. The chair, here's the armrest. And
Yeah, I think it's a chair.
yeah. Great call. Great call.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I
It's
was looking at.
Professor
I think I was
X.
talking about the other character's shoulders because the one I've said on the right has the big
Oh.
shoulders.
Yeah, I thought those like square things were shoulders.
That would be immense. It'd be like Boxman or something, you know, like
Yeah.
I don't know, 2D guy. Like I don't know what that would be on his back, but yeah, no, I think that's a chair. So
Yeah, here on
that
the
confirms
right.
it's Professor X with hair.
Yep. You're on the right. It looks like the things that attach a cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They both got big shoulders in different ways.
Yeah. It's the shoulder wave.
Here's a real question for chat. If you guys think it's Hercules on the right, who's this other thing on the left? Because that looks like someone else with hair, right? On like the
Oh
other side
yeah.
of who's that? Is that like going to be a signature ally or support in the deck or anything like that?
It is interesting that we are getting somebody else in that silhouette.
Unless it's not a person, but it's got a hair feel. It could just be a weird shaped object.
I think it's hair. It looks like hair to me.
I think so too. If you're holding up a trophy, it got to be like maybe like a team thing. I would feel like
Okay.
teammate.
I could see that. We got a winner's bouquet and trophy. That makes sense.
That makes sense too. See, could. That's going crazy.
He's probably at a party. Nice. Okay. So you think you're gonna buy this one?
I mean, they keep reeling me in. No, I never plan to stop buying anything, even though I'm running my channel down a little bit. As a lot of people here will know. I like this a lot. I really love the Captain Marvel, and I think it's maybe Spider-Woman. Those are my two favorite scenarios if I had to pick, just to go into that. I think they look really good.
Yes.
I like all the mod sets. I love getting mod sets. I'm gonna have to see the heroes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think ignoring the PvP component, I'm excited for these 4 scenarios, and I'm excited for these mod sets. And I think that is enough that, yeah, I'm really interested in this.
Yeah. I will be very curious to see how the PvP works in practice. I'm excited also that they are changing up the formula. They're trying something different, and they feel like they can, right? It's a brand new product type, which we were kind of hinted at Con of Heroes that we were gonna get. And I'm happy that they're trying it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and we know now, but like I think it will, right? I mean, like it's a lot of content. It's got just 16 modular sets. Just that is just super exciting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to put these weird like heroes. Like I'm gonna be fighting some random villain, and then his hero's gonna pop up. I'm gonna be confused, but I'm gonna enjoy it. But they look fun. Did you have a favorite scenario? Like looking back now, like do you have a favorite too?
Before I answer that, because I will lose this in the chat. Peter in the Discord said that these 2 heroes are Frank's debut, so that's pretty exciting.
Right,
Frank is one of our new designers. That's exciting.
Yeah, I think this might be like what Kayla mentioned, like setting up the designer. So this is what he's doing first. That's interesting. So he's going to be a fresh new designer. So that'd be so interesting. I wonder if they'll reveal something about his design style, or if it'll be like a first steps and it will change later. I mean, he has already helped with the game before. Was that Aaron? Oh, new designers. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I'm. That makes it extra interesting to see anything from these characters. I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually really fascinated for that now.
Mm-hmm. To your answer, Captain Marvel seems really cool. I think Captain America is going to be a lot of fun. I think Captain America is going to be a slog, but I think the bouncing of the shield is a really interesting mechanic. The one I'm least interested in, I think, is Iron Man. I think Iron Man feels the most vanilla.
I still think
Um,
he's going to be fun scenario though,
oh
but I would
yeah,
agree.
yeah. Um, I I think I'm going to think Spider Woman. I think Spider Woman. Her encounter cards seem ruthless.
Yeah, status card stuff and like, I think a lot of stuff sounds ruthless though. We've seen overkill in Captain America. Captain Marvel's whole mechanic is overkill. I don't know. I think Iron Man's as well, that supersonic punch that schemes and confuses you.
Oh, that's
Well,
brutal. I
he,
forgot
well,
about that card.
he could potentially have full scheme when that happens if he's got all the attachments. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of fun stuff here though. I'm really really excited for.
yeah. When we were chatting about when we were gonna go live this morning, you were like, "This may be 2.5 or 2 to 3 hours." Like, there's no way. We're at 2 hours and 45 minutes. You were so on the dot with that. I was like, "Ain't no way." I did not realize how big of an article this was, but this was a fascinating read through. I'm very
Yeah.
excited for this. I'm excited that it's coming in September too. That's much
Mm.
sooner than I thought we were gonna get.
Yeah,
Um,
I knew when you messaged me like, "Hey, can we do this? What like there's a new thing here," and I'm like, "Well, not really, but I'll make time for it because this is such a unique thing. Like, when are we gonna get to talk about anything like this again in Marvel Champions? I assume never, unless this like is wildly successful.
yeah.
Um, but I've seen a couple of people in chat say, "Oh, I might skip this PvP, I might skip this," but I do think, just to reiterate again, especially for anyone who's joined us like basically at the end here, the whole thing is basically there's 4 cooperative, extremely customizable, extremely replayable looking scenarios here, and tons of mod sets you can use with any villains, and you can even change these up with mod sets from existing packs for
Mhm.
the cooperative stuff. So a lot of value here. Can I get new hero packs? Curious about new aspect cards. So can't comment too much, but I just feel like from the initial reactions I've seen, this will be maybe labeled the PvP box, and a lot of people just pass over it. But I think it's going to add a lot to cooperative's regular play.
Totally agree with you there. I like the PvP is the campaign mechanic in this box. So like if you
Yeah,
would pass on like I've never not considered a box because the Age of Apocalypse campaign was not great. There are probably people out there who have and will, but like I feel like it's going to be labeled as the PvP box, but I feel like it's such a small portion of the box.
yeah. My only critique would be I think some of the mod sets, to keep them balanced for PvP, maybe they were slightly reined in. Like, not to say they're
Mm,
not interesting, but I don't think they're going to get like a few really easy modulars and a few really difficult ones. I feel like maybe there'll be like a spicy one, but I don't think they want it so that in PvP mode you go in, you're always going to pick the same combo of mod sets to use against the enemy because they're stronger. I think they're all going to be balanced about the same. Not necessarily a downside, just an observation. Maybe that the PvP thing had an effect on it. At a guess, but doesn't mean they are bad mod sets in any way. They actually look really. I think the word I've used here is interactive, and you mentioned for the villain's dynamic, and I feel like those two things
yeah,
um, speak to what's going on here.
nice. Wow, that was a big one. That was
Oh yeah,
intense. Yeah,
this might
the
be our
amount.
longest like video and recording together since. Do you remember when we fought Super Thanos with Web Warrior?
I
That's like
do
4 hours.
actually. I do because I was okay. So I am really bad at organizing like my scenes in OBS, and so like I always have to go and find this scene where it's like the two of us with the chat and like streaming the thing. And like
Yeah.
one of them that I clicked through was the scene that I set up for our 3 player game with Super Thanos. So I was like, oh yeah, I remember that now. But okay, very cool. I appreciate you taking the time. It was a long one. Thanks for rearranging the schedule because I had so much fun talking about this with you.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I'm really glad I did read ahead though, because there was so much going on.
it was a lot. It's a lot, and I'm gonna go take a 20-minute nap and then reread it again. So I think I'm looking forward to it.
I'm gonna go and take an 8 hour nap.
Yeah, right, right. Sweet villain. Well, thank you all for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you're watching after the live stream, let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments. And yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more coming out about this in the upcoming days, weeks, months, years, because I feel like this is a pretty significant change to everything that Marvel Champions has.
Mm. Yeah, the September release date, just a quick thing. Feels like the maybe information maybe we get on this is going to come quicker than we might expect normally as well, maybe. So stay on your toes.
Yep, because they said the heroes are coming in the next couple weeks.
Mm.
So
Yeah, exciting.
that is exciting. Alrighty, thank you, Villain, for hanging out. Thank you, chat, for hanging out. I appreciate you all. Looking forward to seeing you. I will be live tomorrow at 10 a.m. to play some more Marvel Champions, and we'll talk to you then. Peace.
Bye.